to condense into a couple of hours before I, could set off in a jolly. So I just collected you at Falkirk. And what was that like, mate?
Falkirk was, it was quiet when I first got there. Obviously the Great Unwashed were there to start off with. I managed to have a bit of dialogue with a Falkirk councillor. Am I all right to talk about that here?
Talk about it you want, buddy.
So Laura Murtagh is the councillor's name. So she was on the opposite side of the road. She was with a lady wearing one of the caftans. So there was a big banner on the front of the counter protesters, or whatever you want to call them. We stop Islamophobia, stop the hate. So, and you got the usual banners. So I just thought I'd ask her a simple question, which was, if you're all for stopping the hate, where's the stop the anti-Semitism banners? What about the Jewish communities that live in Scotland that are maybe living in fear right now? Where's the support for them over there? So we had a bit of back and forth. Nothing, no arguments. I stayed calm, which was unusual for me. And she then announced quite openly and gloated about the fact that she was there and actually go, I'm here and I'm getting paid for today, you're not. So at that moment in time, I said to her, I'm grateful you said that. I says, and I'm going to make a post during the week. And I said, I'm going to name and shame you for that, because shame on you. You're a councillor for this area, and you're turning their back on these people that are on the other side of the road. I've actually got genuine concerns about the people in that hotel. And to stand there and gloat and mock these people is not good enough. She called a policeman over. And obviously I wasn't privy to that conversation, but the policeman looked over at me and I went, no say then and untoward again. So, and he kind of shook his head and I says, what are you shaking your head for? You've just heard your councillor stand there and say openly that she's getting paid for standing there and we're no. So, what do you want me to say? And then she about turned and had it away in her toes and went straight into the crowd. So, I put the post at the day and I named and shamed her, which I think I'm perfectly within my rights to do so.
Yeah, listen, she's a public figure. She's got a public office. She's got duty to the public, and she thinks that part of that she's getting paid to be at protests where the people at the opposite side of the road that she's countering have got fears for the safety of children based on 3 cases, and potentially, by the way, a 4th case, not from that hotel, but in Falkirk, but three already cases from people in that hotel. And she wants to stand against that. And then mock you, saying, at least I'm getting paid to be here.
Yep.
That's just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers.
It's not that, Craig. You and I were up at Aberdeen at the Westhill Hotel, and you had Maggie Chapman standing there and turned her back. You seen that one? I mean, you obviously highlighted that, and she turned her back on them. You had Peter Wishart doing it Perth as well, that John Watt attended, and obviously again there was another MSP turning their backs on the people. They shouldn't be attending these things, regardless of what their views are. They should be seen and remain neutral. But the fact that they're turning up at these events to counter-protest against citizens like ourselves who have got genuine concerns just goes to show you the level of contempt that they actually do have for us. But where are the MSPs that want to stand up with us or stand alongside? Nowhere. I think there's only been one, and it was a councillor down in Falkirk, funnily enough. I think it was a lady called Claire. John Watt interviewed her on camera, and she's the only one that actually turned out in support of the people that were actually protesting for the people in the hotel. And don't quote me, but I believe that she's been persecuted since because she took that stance. But everybody else on the other side gets a free run at it. It's not good enough, Craig.
No.
Just not good enough.
It's a bit mental. Right, so where are we up to? We're up to, you've been to Falkirk 12. I came along, picked you up. We got some banners that Connor had arranged to be left for us, and then we went a bit of a road trip.
We did indeed.
It was a highlight of the road trip.
To be honest, mate, if we start to finish, it was brilliant. Buzzing all the way down. Had some laugh on the way down in the car. We went into a space and just caused carnage as we usually do.
That was good fun.
Obviously, go down to Epping and met up with Martin Gucci and Eddie and that laddie AY Audits. Wow, I'm not going to say too much about him, but that boy's the size of a house. You know what I mean? He's massive.
Big lad, eh?
Oh, he's a huge boy. You know what I mean? And then there was loads of good people. I think the highlight was when we kind of walked up to that crowd. The fact that crowd stayed around waiting for us to get there. I mean, look, more so yourself. I mean, you're the podcaster. You're the guy that's doing all the graft, and I've said that about you plenty times before, but I'm certainly giving you a lot of credit and a lot of the work you've been doing in recent times, mate. You've just no stopped. And I said that last night in a space last night. Nobody realises the amount of work you're doing, and you've still got a personal life to try and juggle alongside that. So, I mean, fair play to you, Chief, man. You're doing some amount of graft.
Yeah, and I think what the boys down there arranged for us arriving, they kind of held back everybody for getting away. I think they would have been finished maybe half an hour before we got there, to be fair. We got held up. Was it 7 sets of roadworks on the way down? Just chaos, wasn't it? So I think it was probably 8:15, 10 past 8:15 before we got there. The police were going nuts on the road, so we just kind of pulled in a good stretch and then walked the rest to get into where they were protesting. And for the minute we turned up, it was just nuts. It was quite humbling, to be honest with you. And the thing that I found more bonkers is we went down there to pay respect to these people who are smashing it and are an actual inspiration to the rest of the United Kingdom, if I'm perfectly honest with you. And it was us that was going down to say thank you to them. But they were so thankful that we were there, weren't they? People we knew some of the people there. There was folk there we knew, like Martin and all the guys and sort of YouTubers and stuff that we knew they were going to be there, and they knew who we were. But just people, like the wee woman that asked me if I could have the flag, and the other wee woman that had done a video saying, right, why do you want the flag? And she said my granny was Scottish. So I said, I'll give you this as long as you promise that you'll bring the Scotland flag to every protest so you're representing us. And she done that. And then there was another woman who heard this and she went, I can't believe what you've done. Can I give you this flag? And I meant to put it up. I had it up there my last podcast earlier, and it fell down because it was just up with blue tack. So I'll stick it back up. Folk can see it. And she was like, I want you to have this, and I want you to take this to Scotland. And it was an Epping flag. And like, these people, an amount of people, what was it like mobbing us to shake our hands and cuddle us and tell us how they thought it was brilliant, the efforts that we've gone to support them. And you're like, no, the thanks is the other way, because you're inspiring everybody else. And I actually felt a wee bit like I should have been doing sooner. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, look, your speech was brilliant, as it always is. I mean, look, I want to get the people of Epping were really welcoming, but I want to also mention so the people of Falkirk any time we've rolled up there, and certainly the people in Peterhead we made with Stephen. I'm not that famous because I got 5 seconds in STV. Rennie, do you know what I mean?
He's changed.
He has changed with that 5 seconds. 5 seconds of fame that he got on STV.
Oh, brilliant.
Little Petey, and then that was him. But I mean, look, I'm a nobody. I'm just a supporter, a guy that goes and tries and supports communities and stand alongside patriots that are trying to raise their voices. You're a different kettle of fish, along with John Watt and that. I mean, you guys are podcasters, YouTubers, or whatever you want to call yourselves. You actually go and make the effort and take your equipment up there. And I mean, even watching how you have to edit a video. I mean, wow. I mean, even doing something as simple as that. I mean, watching how you try and clip it and condense it to make it ready for the viewing public. Do you know what I mean? So I just tag along to these things, get involved, and I'll continue to do so as long as I can. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's just we've got to show a little less fear and a bit more bravery, and we've got to get out there and say what we've got to say, and just try and stand along people that need some help. And everywhere's kind of smashing out the park. Can I just say as well, I think the other one in my highlights today, Craig, and I know you want to mention a tune at the back end of this one, so I'll leave that one to you. But when we were coming back up the road and we got taking that tour to England, and that we went through that one place was about 3 mile of lampposts.
Oh, it's nuts. Do you know what you need to do? You need to put the dog in the other room, Kevin, because people will think that's your bottom that's making the noises.
Go and lie down. Can stone her arse off next to me.
What happened is when we were coming up the road, we hadn't booked anything. I think the original thing we were going to do was stay in Epping. But to be honest with you, by the time we got there, it was back at 8. By the time we finished doing what we were doing, they wanted us to go and get a wee bite to eat. It's never quite happened. They ended up in the pub. And I think it was about 11 o'clock was shutting time. And I was just full of adrenaline because of, the reception and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, look, we'll just drive up for a couple of hours, see how we get on, and just pull into a service station with a travel lodge or something. And we only got on the road maybe half an hour, Kev. We hit the M11, and then there was a diversion. The motorway was closed for roadworks. And you're like, oh, this could be a Saurian, because if it's even one junction at that part, it's not as if there's no like being in the city centre of Glasgow where there's a junction every 200 yards. It could be miles, it could be 10 miles. And we were off the motorway following diversions for about an hour. Am I right, Kev? Probably a good hour anyway. So we were going through all I was seeing towns and villages that I'd never even heard the names of before. But what were the flags like, Kev?
It was that one stretch, Craig, where it must have went on for about 2-3 miles. Every single lamppost had a flag. And I said this in Nil Space last night. It wasn't the flag in my country, but it being the St. George's flag. But you know something? The sense of pride that you've seen just because these people made the effort. I mean, the effort that people must have made today, every single lamppost was unreal. I mean, that was remember that roundabout we got today, and it was like every lamppost round the roundabout had a Union Jack and a St. George's cross on it. Do you know what I mean? It was unbelievable. And then coming up the road, you seen it yourself, and you wanted to make a special mention about that one. So I'll leave that one to yourself.
What was that?
When we got to Scotland, the wee village we went through.
Which village was it again?
Fourth.
Quarter. Fourth.
Aye, fourth.
We came up. I rode that hardly on because normally I come up from England, I just go straight up the top of the M7 onto the M8, and I'm in Glasgow. And I was quite surprised that the sat-nav didn't take us up to the end of the M74 and turn right to head to Edinburgh to take home. It took us up a diagonal route quite early. I thought, well, that's a bit interesting. And we come up to this wee village of Quarter, and it was just Saltire, Union flag, Saltire, Union flag. No, it's not a big town, not a big village, but for the first lamppost in the village to the last lamppost in the village, am I right, mate?
Aye.
It was just
like it was kind of like alternate, you know what I mean? They had one lamppost had a Saltire, the next one had a Union Jack, the next one had a Saltire. I mean, it was, and again, it goes to show you how peed off people really are right now. Do you know what I mean? The fact that this government is just not caring about us one little bit, and it gives you a bit of hope that at some point down the line, the Patriots are starting to wake up. And I'm using the word Patriots because that's exactly what we are. We just care about our country. We don't want that what's happening to us. We never asked for this. We never voted for it. So why are we getting it imposed upon us? So, fair play to Forth. I mean, and obviously we know that Aberdeen's been relentless in that as well. We've seen Stephen putting videos up about it, him, John, and I think it's Stevie Dons and all that kind of crew up there. They're at it every weekend, getting up there and getting the flags out there as well. So we need to see more of it. But then again, as Stevie shared a video on X today, that the one that I was telling you about this morning, and there was a Celtic fan, Saltire, actually hanging a Union Jack tee, and that goes to show you what's actually happening. Because I'm a Celtic man, do you know what I mean? As you know, Craig, and
you're what?
What's that? But I've got no hatred to any of these flags now, because they're the flags of this country, and to raise them, we've got to raise them with pride, because this is what it's all about right now. I forgot to mention about that as well, as the Indie marchers were walking by on Saturday, I was standing with Keep the Faith, that goes on X as well, young lady from Glasgow, and she had the Union Jack and I had the Rampant Lion, and I also had the AAIM t-shirt on, it's got the map of Scotland on it with the Saltire and the Scotland across the top of it. And as they were walking by, they were calling us flag shaggers and all sorts. And I actually was like, I'm waving the same flags as you're waving as you're walking by. And one of them pointed to the Union Jack and went, well, what's that? I says, well, what's that you're waving? You're waving the flag is so-called Palestine. That's not even a country. It's got nothing to do with us. So, unbelievable.
You're now Norrie's favourite Celtic fan. You've overtaken John Watt. That's awesome. I'm sure I'm actually really shocked at Norrie having any favourite Celtic fan, but that just shows you the barriers we're breaking down with this whole thing, isn't it? It's the football's just patched, isn't it? It's just.
It is. I mean, this is no longer about Celtic, Rangers, Catholic, Protestant. Do you know what I mean? This is whether or not you want your country to remain safe, and whether or not you want your country to remain the country you grew up in. I mean, the Indie supporters, I just couldn't believe that. They were standing shouting abuse. And I'm like, and every time I pointed to that flag, I'm like, well, what's that you're flying? You seen the heat go down and away they went? Because I'm like, well, we're flying on. There was the Welsh flag, you had the St. George's Cross flag, you had the Northern Irish flag, you had the Saltire, you had the Rampant Lion, and you had the Union Jack. Now, the last I looked, every one of these flags represents every one of the countries in the United Kingdom, right? Now, that's the last time I looked. Yet, here they're walking by with that green, black, red and white thing and claiming it as if it's a country. I'll sit down and behave yourself, man. Honestly, have a day off and have a word. Anyway, rant over.
Are you? Right, so that was that. Now, it was bonkers, wasn't it? The thing that I'll live with me forever was just the reaction of the people at Epping.
Aye.
They were like, user heroes, user legends. You're like, no, you've got this whole thing in the wrong way. You guys are absolutely smashing it. And I was saying that to Martin and whatever later on. I mean, do these people actually understand the effect they're having on the rest of the UK? Because they're inspiring a nation. They are actually inspiring a nation. And I had so many things in my head that I was wanting to say to these people, but I didn't realise that I was going to be speaking to them like immediately after they arrived, right? So within 30 seconds, there's a megaphone. I was like, oh shit, right? I've stopped writing speeches. I don't like reading from my phone or a piece of paper. So I kind of normally have maybe 4 or 5 things in my head, like bullet points. I'll just go with it. And as long as I can remember the bullet points, I'll kind of remember what I want to say. But there was just so much more I wanted to say to these people. And then when we stopped speaking, they were like, wasn't it? It was just like mobbed and like, oh, thanks for it. You just came down. And it was bonkers. It was absolutely bonkers. And then what they had done in Epping that night, they had started the protest at the the hotel, and then they'd walked almost the length of the village to get up to where the sort of, I think it's a sort of civic hall is. And they were doing something there, and there were speeches there, because some of the people involved in the organising of it are now banned from the hotel, right? So they kind of try to do these things, and then they walk back sort of halfway between both points so that there could be more speeches, and that's where we met them. So they had done the hotel, right? So we finished, and like everybody's like, right, we're going to the pub. And we're like, no, we're going to the hotel. Like, there's nobody there. Like, it doesn't matter. It was like going to Mecca or Jerusalem or, you know, like a holy building type thing. It was like, no, we need to go there. And we trundled down, and like Eddie and Martin, who else came? Was there 2 or 3, wasn't there? Came down to the Martin's wife. Came down to the hotel, and the cops were there, and they were like moving the barriers and all. And I must say, the cops were all right with us. They were having a good laugh when we were at the square in the centre of town, and then we went back down to the. And you know, it did freak me a bit. They knew we were coming, because I was having a laugh with one of. I was having a laugh with one of the cops at the hotel. And I said, I was a bit worried it was going to kick off down here because I've got bail conditions. And he went, yeah, we know you're in bail. And I looked, I went, what? He went, it's all right, but it's no problem. I thought, that's how mental the situation is. So there must be, I would imagine, intelligence getting gathered on certain people for him to know what, and Epping knew that, you know, I was currently under bail conditions. And it was just a bit weird. But that's just part of the game, isn't it? Anyway, we've got a couple of questions came in, mate, that I just want to go over before I go back to the 42 that I've missed out on since I just looked to the right for a minute or two. So apparently we were mentioned in Paul Thorpe's show. A few people have mentioned that. Scott was one of the first to mention it. Tills is I wonder if that's Tills and Tilly are the same people of Tilly off X Spaces.
Looks like the same avatar.
You two should have a road trip TV show. I couldn't afford it, honestly, emotionally and physically and financially. I couldn't cope much more. I think if I had another hour's drive on Sunday, I would have parked him out the car. We'd seen each other enough. Mate, you shouted at me. See, I was doing the whole, you've changed, right? The whole way up the road, every opportunity. He was in shopping in the Boss shop. He was stuttering, like as if he's stuttering about. I'm an influencer now, you know, buying and sell Boss clothes and all that in the Boss shop. Right?
On, man.
So I was every opportunity I'm bamming him up. Oh, you've changed, and we were about 10 minutes from his house, and he was starting to get that. I hate him saying it now. So I think we were, you know, it was probably best we partied at that point, Kev. So to do a longer one would probably end up. No, I couldn't cope with you. You knew you caught me me's optional, but I couldn't cope you much longer. Right?
You're right.
There's a question here, Candy Smith. Do you know who Sally Thomas is and why she's stepping down as the chief of the Scottish Federation of Housing Associations? I have no idea who she is, Candy, if you want to put any more info in about that. F-Star, did you hear any updates on the phone the police taking for the girl at Falkirk? No. When we were down the road and waiting, it was before we got to Epping, we started getting some people telling us there'd been arrests. And I must admit, when I went to Falkirk, bear in mind we were wanting to go on the road, so we weren't in Falkirk long. We got there just before 12, we left no long after, maybe 20 past at the latest. And I actually said to one of the coppers, I said, there's a different vibe here today, and that car park's full of meat wagons. And there's more of yous here than normal. There's something going down. Obviously, he's not going to tell me much, but I just felt the way that was laid out on Saturday was different for the other couple of times I've been to Falkirk. And unfortunately, I believe there was actually a guy arrested before we left to get taken out the counter-protesting side. And then apparently there's been another 3 after that, 2 of them charged and 2 not. So that's kind of all I know about. I've been admiring the flags on the M8 up along Falkirk and Grangemouth. That's brilliant to hear. Jean McDonald's asking, Craig, when is the next protest meeting in George Square? I attended that meeting, going to Falkirk on Saturday to give them support. Keep up the great work you do, Craig. Well, thanks, Jean. I think what you're talking about is the rally I spoke at last May. George Square, unfortunately, is closed for probably about a year because of renovations to the square. But 20th of June, 20th of September. Get it in your diary. Buchanan Galleries, 1 p.m. Don't be late, right? We need to get out numbers because the lefties have already decided without John Watt even he put a poster out with a date and never really just said that, it's a rally protest thing. And it just said enough is enough and never told us what the rally was about. And guess what? Within hours, would you call them, stand up to racism, had a counter protest arranged, and this is taking the streets of Glasgow. We must stop it. We need to get the far right off our streets. Now, nobody said any of the topics getting discussed at this rally, but they've already decided that we're wrong and they're going to counter it. So the good people of Scotland, get out, get active. 20th of September, the Buchanan Gallery steps, 1 p.m. sharp. So
can I just point out as well, Craig, that John Watt's poster says Unity Rally. 2 words, Unity Rally. And here they are. They're the ones that want to come out and cause division. So, says it all. As you rightly pointed out, there's nothing on that flyer as to what the topics are about. The top 2 words, Glasgow, whatever it is, and underneath it, Unity Rally. And that's the only thing that says. And there you are. The Balloon Brigade are out in force. Let's get in there and let's stand up to racism. Brilliant. They're absolute lunatics, a lot of them. Psychos. And I hope I hope they wake up that Saturday morning and have a look in the mirror, like you said up in Peterhead, and hang their heads in shame. And I hope they actually look in the mirror and think to themselves, what is it we're actually going to go and protest against today? Because we don't even know what this rally is about. It is absolutely ridiculous, these people. It just goes to show you that we are not the ones that's causing the division. They're the ones that's causing the division. Even on Saturday, I had a dialogue with a guy across the banner as well, and I asked him, I says, what is it? Why are you protecting the men in that building? And he was like, they're refugees. I says, they're no refugees. They're illegal migrants. You're going with what you're getting told. I says, no, I'm going with facts, mate. There's FOIs out there that will prove you wrong. Go and request one. See if you ask for an FOI, do you know how to do that? I said, see, instead of watching that box in the corner of your room, take a step back and go and dig a wee bit deeper, and you might find something out that you might not want to hear. And he just shook his head and walked away. And I was like, oh, there you go, walk away, because you don't like it when facts are presented to you.
See, that's what we need, Kev. Michelle Jones, I'll make the 20th. It's my first ever protest, but sadly can't make London, but I'll be watching it. See, that's kind of what we need. We just need people. See, like people like me, I was protesting 10 years ago about a thing I'm not going to bore you to death about. So I kind of don't have a big hang up with it. But when people, and I say, you come into this protest, you come into that protest, they're like, no. Now, the next words out their mouth is either an excuse for not coming or a genuine reason for not coming. Now, if somebody says, nah, it's my mum's 60th birthday that day, you kind of get it, right? But when they go, nah, protests don't work, that's an excuse, right? Because as I said to people in Epping, they're pulling results out of thin air. Now, I know they get a wee kick in the teeth with the thing that happened at the court, but that'll get challenged as well. The Women Won't Waste campaign, that was a protest movement. That took the Scottish Government all the way to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court eventually gave in their favour to tell them that the Scottish Government was wrong and Women Won't Waste were right, that a man's a man and a woman's a woman. That was a result from protesting. So we need to energise people to say, do you know what? And by the way, right now it's about migrants and all that stuff, right? But see if it's about, I don't know, your thing is what we're teaching kids at school, or it's knife crime, or it's lack of good social housing, then get a voice. Look at the results we're getting with people in Glasgow and the East End with the Carntine home that was going to get turned into a HMO. Knocked in the head. That was because the people done something about it. So you can make a difference in people like Michelle. Great to hear that people have never done it before are suddenly going to go, do you know what? I'm going. And as I said at Glasgow last year, when we spoke to May and we were vastly outnumbered by the Goon Platoon, and I said, that's fine, because they're used to protest and they go to protests every weekend. It's their pastime. They don't have any pals, right? That's their whole social life. So they're outnumbered us that day. I said, but what happens the next time is everybody here brings a pal. And then the next time, everybody that was at the second one brings a pal to the third one. And see, within no time at all, they'll not be able to fit in the same postcode as us. Because there's far more, and I trust the people of Scotland. They know the difference between right and wrong. And the vast majority know the difference between right and wrong. We just need to get them a voice and get them a exposure and get them active. And these people will be embarrassed turning up once we get this at full flow. And we're far from full flow. Far from it. But it will come. And it might be next summer before we're at full capacity. But it will happen. And these folk will know what to do about it. You were going to say something?
There was somebody mentioned something there a minute ago in the comments, and it was actually quite a thing that just kind of sprung to me. Do you know what would be quite good, Craig? Obviously, you made the effort to go down to Epping, but how good would it be that if a busload of people went for Aberdeen and a busload of people went for Falkirk and all went down to Epping? So it was like our two main towns that have started.
We were representing Falkirk there. We were just lucky that we were able to get the flag and stuff, and we were kind of. It was just because it was the same day, and I thought, you know what, those people at opposite ends of the country are protesting at the same things. Because about a week ago, 10 days ago, there was a guy out the Falkirk Hotel up at court guilty, right? And then last week there was a guy from the Epping Hotel up at court guilty, right? And that's kind of what we need to drive. That's the issue. The issue isn't racists taking the streets. The issue isn't the saltire. The issue isn't all that shite that the mainstream and the establishment want to talk about. We need to keep drawing it back to people are getting abused, right? That's what we need to keep pulling it back to, because that's what's making this happen. It's not people have just decided they don't like migrants. Nobody just woke up and said, let's have some protests because I don't like foreigners. These towns and cities decided one day we can't have our young people getting exposed to this. We have got enough bad people of our own in this country that are bad to women and bad to children. The one thing we don't need any more of is we don't have a skill shortage of idiots, right? But why would we bring people in who are coming from societies where they actually don't know that having sex with somebody at 12 isn't allowed? Because that's the harsh reality. And we're bringing people here, and we're not protesting outside hotels where there's women and children being housed. We're protesting outside hotels where it's all guys, and it's all fighting age guys, and it's all these guys that were meant to accept are fleeing for their life. And as the video I done today would tell you, there's 2 total scams involved in all this. They are illegal, and I proved it in the video, right? So that's kind of where we need to be. We need to keep drawing it back to point, and don't let any of these media outlets, any of these establishment people drive it into whatever it is that it's not. Robert's saying here, any plans to have more flag swaps at other protests would be fantastic to show solidarity across the country. 100%, Robert. But here's the deal. This isn't the Craig Houston show or the Kev show. This is about the people. So I don't know where you live, Robert. I don't know where your nearest protest is. So why don't you get a banner made up from wherever you are and take it to the next town nearest to you who are protesting and show solidarity with them, and take a wee bit of inspiration from what Kevin Meir done, and don't think, well, somebody else will do it, right? We need everybody to do a wee bit. So it's a great idea, Robert, and if we've inspired others to do it, then that's another benefit of us doing what we've done. But it can't be the Craig show, it can't be the John Watt show, it can't be the Kev show, it can't be the Conor for Falkirk show, it can't be the Stephen Rennie show, because that wouldn't last long if it was the Stephen Rennie show. But, do you know what I'm saying? We need more people to do these things. So a great idea, Robert. I hope you take that. I'm not meaning it in a bad way. I'm just, hopefully others can do their own thing.
Just two quick things, Craig. Firstly, I want to applaud young Stevie boy for his first ever standing up and speech. By the way, up in Aberdeen, he done really well. I know he was nervous about it, and I know he was kind of speaking to yourself and asking for a bit of advice. He done a great job. Certainly got the message across. I would say to anybody, if you're going to talk, the best way to do it is just do it off the cuff. Because I think that's the best. Like when you use it off the cuff, it just seems more natural. Do you know what I mean? But one thing I have noticed as well in all these protests is the amount of kids that turn up at our protests, but none for the other side. I don't know if I'm the only one that's actually ever noticed that. We're there.
Stevens doing Epping on Sunday. Him and his missus are down in London for the weekend anyway, so they're going to pop out there. That's fantastic. Hope we take a couple of mementos because they'll love you there, Stevie. Honestly, the reception is, and we'll tie you in with Martin and people there. Probably tie you in on Saturday with them when we're all in the same place on Saturday, so that they can look out for you getting there. It'll be brilliant. Sorry, Kev, I cut you off. You still there, Kev? Kev. Earth calling Kevin, come in. He's changed. He's actually changed, hasn't he? Anyway, just noticed DGR's down there. DGR, do you want to give us an update on Aberdeen and what's been happening in the northeast corner of Scotland over the last maybe week?
Well, I will go into last week, but there's been a big update today that's happened.
Right.
I don't know if you're part of the Facebook group, but someone went. There's been
these days, mate.
Aye, well, that's the thing. No one uses Facebook anymore, But it's been in the newspapers for a while. I think I did mention it on a previous live about them using student accommodation to actually house these people. So someone basically went down today from the Facebook group, and they went peering through the windows basically, and there's been mass beds and everything and cleaning products being put into this student accommodation. So it's basically now guaranteed that it's going to be housing more people in student accommodations.
Right. When are the students back? When does the universities and stuff, when do they start back up?
Oh, I'm not too sure, but I know there's a few students moving in currently to different students. But it's I don't know if this one is open for the students.
Well, if it's not if it is student accommodation, it'll need to be, because they kind of rely on, and it's not unusual. See, during the summer, I don't know who's mic's open, but I'm getting loads of noise in the background. I don't know if it's you, Kev, or you, Robert, but you're getting, student accommodation has often been used for other purposes. I remember, I don't know that's yours, Robert. It's absolutely nuts, the feedback I'm getting in my earpiece with you. So, I remember my younger days going down to Surrey University, their campus down there, as part of a football training thing for a week. And we stayed in the campus, and there's people used them for homeless things and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be too, unless, I'm wrong. I could be wrong. It happens quite a lot. But at this point, without any more information, I kind of would be like, that could only be short term, because universities, colleges coming back, then they'll need the accommodation for the students, Unless there's more information, I don't know,
Well, is the feedback fixed now, or is it still an issue?
It seems a lot better, mate.
Okay, right. Well, it's been in the papers that it's going to be happening. So someone just went down there and took a look, and they've posted all over just the videos of all the cleaning products there, and basically all the equipment to move them over, I'm guessing. But I tried to have a speak with Jonathan at the Aberdeen one, but again, it was just a repeat of the same old, just labeling me as stuff with no evidence. I asked him, "What's your evidence to this?" And he's like, "Oh, because you stand there." And I'm like, "So I stand and record, and this makes me all the things you're alleging me to be." And it's a bit ridiculous, But I had two people actually come up and say, "Oh, we've watched your channel, and we can see, you don't give a side. Basically, you're just here to film." But they came up, shook my hand and everything. But it's quite interesting as one of the guys actually did agree with everything that the people protesting was there for. They agreed with everything. So they just said, we don't like the way it's being done. So it was a bit of a strange one, that.
Crackpots. John Carr's saying here, tomorrow Aberdeen is planning and charging 6 people for speaking out. Are you aware of this? I met a few people at West Hill, John, that were up in different charges, and it was quite a bit weird. If it's those people, then yeah, I kind of was aware. And when we were up at West Hill, I had spoke to them, gave my contact details and said, look, when you're ready to speak, and if it's before you're up at court, speak to a lawyer first before you come on, but I'll give you a platform. But take legal advice before you come on so that the lawyers can either say don't do it or do it, but don't talk about X, Y, or Z. So I take it that's that. If it's no, then that's mental, because that's like another big group of people in Aberdeen waiting to get charged. So I'll look out for that, mate, and fingers crossed they get a good result.
I think it is the 6.
This is an attempt to keep us all quiet, though. I mean, it's that scaremongering tactics, you know what I mean? They see that this movement's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's getting louder and louder and louder. So they're like, well, it doesn't fit into our narrative. So how do we sort this? Oh, that's right. What we'll do is we'll just start picking these people out, charging them, and then hopefully the other ones will start falling like dominoes because they'll be too feared to turn out and speak. But unfortunately, I think they've missed the boat with that one, because it's not going to scare anybody, because we're all going to continue to turn up, and they're only going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? Sorry for dropping out there. Somebody tried to phone me.
Right, mate. You're the internet hero now, so you do what you want. You have changed, but understandable.
I'm never going to live that down, sir. Honestly.
No. I mean, that was just. I just thought it was funny. All the way down, he's like, I'm at 400,000 now. I'm at 410,000.
By the way, that's not true at all, right?
That's true.
Let's get the story right here, right? I had mentioned to you, I'd put the post out about it, and I said it done well, and you went like, what's it done? And I opened it up, and at that point it was sitting at something like 400,000, and you're like, wow, that's some gone for your account. And as we were going down, we had kept checking it, and that's when you were like, you've changed. I've no changed, right? I'm still me.
I'm being your pal, Kev. I'm just trying to keep you grounded, mate.
Cheers, I appreciate that, but I'm well and truly grounded. But, by the way, I need to give my mate Wally a shout out, right? Because he absolutely thinks you're brilliant.
No, you don't need
to. I did.
I'll give him a shout out. All right, Wally, how you doing? Wally, he's changed, hasn't he? Wally, just text him right now and say, Big Craig's right, you've changed. But don't phone him, because, well, I phone him, because then we'll lose him again. That when
he's all changed. He watches all your videos, and he watched the one for Epping there as well. He phoned me today about it. And he said he loves what you do, man. So I just thought, do you know what? I'll give him a shout out for you. So Big Wally, he's an absolute star, boy.
Another thing is, will you be charging Wally for selfies, or is it just strangers that get charged for selfies? No,
Wally gets them for nothing.
Right,
look, even Wendy's jumped on this now.
Right, who's Wendy? Mrs.
So Michael, I'm a diva now, right? Thanks for that, Michael. Wendy, it's going to your head, Kev. Oh, come on, man.
Sandra's gave us that. When you shut up to say thanks properly, Sandra, that's twice I've tried. You've cut me off. You've changed, Kev. You've changed. Sandra, thanks very much for that. And we're all looking forward to the 20th. So it'd be great if you're there, and I can say thank you for the support you've shown me over at least the last 3 months as it has. It'll be a year now. Sorry, Kev, you can talk again.
No, I'm saying nothing, man. I'm getting absolutely slated after you. I'm getting slated in the comment section now. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm 5 minutes behind the comments trying to catch up, so I'll get there.
I've got to wait till Kev gets on his next venture.
There's Big Jim. Bit of solidarity there. You're deluded if you think protests will achieve anything, despite me giving you several quite positive examples of where protests and, a strike, right? Do you know what a strike is? It's a protest. So I do agree with protest on a strike would be absolutely fantastic, but it's the same thing. It's people doing something a bit unusual out in the streets to show that the public are not happy. So I'll never use that language that protests don't achieve anything, because that's really disingenuous to all the people over Britain that have pulled some great results, even over the last 6 months. And some of them you don't even know about. Sorry guys, talk amongst yourself. I'm just going to try and catch up with
it. Have you had any use out of that camera yet?
I've no actually, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to bring it up to Aberdeen next time I'm up there.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I've not got a clue what I'm doing with it.
Yeah, you should just give me a call after this. I'll help you get it set up. Like,
well, I'll not be able to do anything after this, but I'll give you a phone during the week, and
no worries.
I'll get a chat with you. Because I wouldn't mind taking it down to London on the 13th and doing a wee bit of recording while I'm down there, just for prosperity more than anything else. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because it'll certainly be. I think it's going to be an epic day on the 13th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just too busy.
Billy said leave Kev alone, but what he hasn't said is that you've no changed.
Because he realises I've no. He knows I've no. I'm just me.
I'm with Michael.
Of course you're with Michael.
Wendy, yeah. I think you're right, Wendy. You've noticed it, yeah. But we'll keep
on
grounded.
My God, man. I'm never going to live this down. Know what I mean?
It was good to see your wee face.
I'm just a man trying to do something the same as everybody else.
Right, Billy, make it the Kev show. It is the Kev show. He's turned the Waynes against me. He's turned my viewers against me. Look, chicken. Look.
Oh, tell you what.
Look, is it just me or has Kev changed?
Oh man,
he's getting violated here.
Every space I went into the DT. Sorry, boy, Kev. I went, what, mate? You've changed. You know what I mean? Martin, you've changed. Kat, you've changed. I'm like, oh, for God's sake, man.
He's needing a shave. He's needing a shave in that heat he has.
I'm getting called Denzel now. That's on the back of you. I've got everybody's telling me next I'm changed now on the back of you. I'm telling you, man, just everyone. It's unbelievable. I don't listen. I like a good bit of banter, man. Anyway, it doesn't bother me.
Right.
But 13th will be good. Looking forward to it. You know what I mean? And then I think I'm really looking forward to the Glasgow one, because I really do hope that they'll need to, that everybody will turn up to that. The only thing is I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn here. I don't think I am. But I think John was saying today he might need to run a GoFundMe page, because it turns out they need licensing fees.
Yeah.
So
there's things he's got for entertainment that's got costs involved as well. So
aye.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look, it's not a massive number that he's going to be looking for. And I think everybody be quite willing to chip in something to get to that number. Because at the end of the day, it does cost money. Sorry?
I'm quite sure. Well, no, it's not a big number he needs.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's not a big one. So
it would be one of them that if everybody that tuned into a live gave 20 pence to it, it would be smashed. Do you know what I mean? It's no a big number when you understand the sort of reach that some of these videos and stuff get. That
I mean, I'm not talking to Turn, but I know he's a wee bit stressed out about it today. But he was doing some work on his clinic today, and then I think he was going to set that up and get it out tomorrow. And then I just said, "We'll get it out, and we'll get it shared." And I'm pretty sure we'll reach that target quite quick enough. It's because, as you said, it's not a big amount, so it's just to cover the cost of that. Do you know what I mean? So,
no.
Unfortunately, that's the way it is.
Has he got that paper sorted?
We've kind of done the reason for. No, yet, no. we've kind of got the main reason for the live out there in the first place. And we're going to kind of get back to the normal thing now and have a little get the punters up, tell us what your problems are, right? So I'm just going to play this wee advert, and it'll take about 50 seconds, and it tells you what to do to get on the show.
Yep.
Hi there, welcome to a new concept for the channel where you, the viewer, gets to come onto the show and tell me, Houston, we have a problem. I want to hear from you, your community, and the issues you have with the United Kingdom currently. And the only thing I ask you to do is start the conversation with, Houston, we have a problem. When you see the description on YouTube, all you have to do is scroll down the description, click on that link, it'll bring you straight into the studio. From there, I'll invite you up. You start the conversation with Houston, we have a problem. And we'll see what we can do to help you, your community, and your problems going forward. You never know, it might be my next journey, Length and Breadth to the UK, to come to your community and cover your issues. So get live, get involved. And Houston, we have a problem. There you go, get involved. I actually just think I made a bit of a boob about something. I don't think I did put the thing in the description. I put it to you. If you're watching Twitter, if you go on, there's a poster shared about half an hour before the show went live with all the details on how to get in, the links. Why are you not in the...
You're not there either.
So, back in the room. Now, I'm now. So I'm going to go and put a link in the description. I'll just add a wee second. You see us now, Kev, because I'm not looking at my screen.
I see you now.
A different screen.
I see you now, mate. Aye.
See you now.
I'm
Like my
surprised, Stevie. I'm surprised when Stevie Rennie's not come up for 5 seconds. You know how Stevie likes to get his 5 seconds in.
Aye, and I had the BBC contact me wanting to use 30 seconds.
Aye, but Stevie was standing there for an hour and a half talking to them.
I seen that.
He even put his best bit of Stone Island on tape for them, know what I mean? His whitest trainers and his tightest jeans. Cutting about his jeggings on.
Right, he was up early in the morning getting ready and everything, picking all the clothes out like.
Yeah, he would have had Suzanne getting them all ironed and pressed. You know what I mean? He was away getting a spray tan and teeth whitened as well, like Gino does.
Taking the tits up.
Nobody coming up to talk tonight, Craig?
Here, Stephen, I gave you your airtime.
Well,
I left the whole thing in for you.
considering all I've done was put the actual link out there now, then it's no surprise. So if anybody does want to come in, you're watching on YouTube, you might need to refresh it to show I've just put the link in the description. If you're on Twitter, go back to my post just before we went live, where it's got a link to watch it on YouTube and a link to come to the studio and come up and have your say. Because I've kind of spent about 4.5 weeks worth of with Kev time in the last 2 days, so I'm kind of, and he's changed, so it's quite difficult.
Man alive, man. Honestly. It's like, do you know what? It's getting old now, right? People know I've no changed. I don't know, actually. Still quite.
Never get old.
I mean, it was that every sentence that came out your mouth on the way up the road, man, it started with that, you changed. You know what I mean?
You have?
I've not changed. But that I know I've not changed, so there you go. do you think the protests will stop coming up kind of autumn and winter time?
I think it'll be affected, yeah. Summer's always a better time of the year to get people out in the streets than the middle of winter. It's always going to be a better time for protesting. So it will affect it. Of course it will.
I'm kind of hoping it doesn't. Like, I mean, when you've got the momentum on the way you've got it. I think kind of stopping it would be taking that break. Because mind that one when you done that rally in George Square and you gave that big speech again there, and you mentioned that the next one, the next one, the game one, the next game one, and soon they'll not even be in the same postcode as us. It went all quiet. Do you know what I mean? And nothing happened for months. And I think the first one that really picked it up again was Peterhead, was the kind of starting point. Do you know what I mean? Up here. I know obviously Epping was the starting point for it all, but Peterhead for Scotland is, I know, that's brilliant, man.
I didn't realise, because coming at night times, the lines in front of Union Jack. I just thought it was a lion because it was dark when they got it. It's cracking that.
That's a crack.
But I'll not be up the wall long because I'm going to put it in the car so that any time I'm at any protest I can pull it out and we'll get. And there's your wee car banner as well. It was the one that survived because you managed to lose the Saltire one the first time you put it in the windy.
How funny was that though, going down there? Every time we got caught in the roadworks, man, you put that one out one side and I put the Saltire out the other side. We're driving with the looks we were getting. Some of the looks, man.
Has Bobby come up to Bobby's come up to join us again. Bobby, one thing I need to ask you just right off the cuff is you notice Kev's changed?
Oh,
Bobby, I think Bobby's away. He's away for a tea break or something. I'll take him down so that when he comes back up, he notices he's known, does something, he might turn his camera on. He's maybe just we'll wait till he comes back in. Anyway,
that was funny. That every roadworks was like, right, get the flags out. You got the Union Jack at one side, and I've got the Saltire. Then we did the entire roadworks with the flags draped out the window, and then the minute we started hitting full speed again, they would pull them back in. But the looks we were getting, man, of some people was hilarious. I mean, some of them, I mean, the looks could kill. You know what I mean? On some occasions. I mean, it was as far as road trips go, it was funny. Do you know what I mean? I know we were in the car for some length of time, but it was hilarious, man. Some of the laughs, man. I mean, some of the stories you could tell, though. You know what I mean? It's like, here we go again. We've got another story coming here.
Tina's asking how she call in. I've just, the next comment down, Tina, is the link. Just press that, or it's in the description. I can see you're on YouTube, so get set up. I'm quite happy. There seems to be more females coming into the chats. I think the other night with 2 or 3, and it's brilliant.
I mean, the good thing about it is you can just come up and say what you've got to say, and at the end of the day, that's what you started this for, was just to give people the opportunity. I mean, because spaces can be quite intimidating at times because you've got you can actually see all the avatars, and I think sometimes as well in spaces you can be quite intimidating if you get a lot of intelligent people going up and talking.
No, that's gang, you know.
Well, me and DGR have dragged that right down. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
We're just waiting for Stephen Little, Petey Rennie to come up, and then that'll drag it even further. You know what I mean?
Should we give
I didn't go to any protest today. Tiff's asking. I was bumped out I got up road last night and done some personal private stuff. Bumped out. So the day was spent just sitting here and doing some stuff. Couldn't make it anywhere. Right, so we've got Snaps in the room. Hello, Snaps, how are you? Snaps? Hello? I'm trying to hear what's going on in the background there because I'm a right nosy twat.
God, carry on.
Aye, Snaps back down because something crazy might happen there. I'll just send a wee message to Snaps. 2 up, failed.
2 up, 2 down.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh God! I hope it is him. I was hoping there was 2 Sean Teals in the world. Oh God! What's happening, Sean? I've fair missed you, mate. Get that cup. You've just done that as a pure bam up, Sean.
No.
Right, Sean, go.
As you get it, United. How are you?
Bang average, yeah.
All good, mate. All good. Just the usual. Just I obviously had to get the Wednesday to sleep there, man. So that was a bit of a nightmare. But apart from that, all good.
Aye. How's your podcast been? I seen you had a counsellor on now. See, to be fair with you, mate, I cannot talk about some people. A whole job description because of my bail condition, so I can't really talk to you about your last podcast you put out, if that's all right. Because
can I talk about it?
Bail conditions.
Can I mention it, or is it just?
I'm not allowed to put out any material talking about a certain job description, and it's bonkers.
Right.
This is my platform, so I'd probably get into. I could, but I was wanting to do a video last week about a thing. Up with flag down, and actually phoned my lawyer and I went, look, give me a bit of legal advice on this, and they're like, there was a story, quite a good, a big story, and he's like, no, he says you would probably get pulled in, have to go to court because of that. Somebody would claim you broke your bail conditions and you would probably win, but you're giving yourself grief that you just don't need. So kind of took that on board. Anyway, what's happened over? You texted me earlier, and I've not had a chance to look more into it. But there's been unfortunately some more issues in the Middle East. There's more bombs involved and stuff like that.
So I've not really had a chance to research it yet, but I seen like obviously Israel had bombed Qatar, and obviously I think obviously it was to kind of hit Hamas, the leaders of Hamas. So listen, we've all got different opinions on these things, but if it brings peace to the Middle East, then listen, I'm all for it. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's
been confirmed it wasn't an attack on anybody other than the Hamas leadership. It seems to be very targeted. I've seen some footage.
I reckon Qatar would
photograph of the building.
I reckon Qatar would have known about it. Do you know what I mean? I would be very surprised if Qatar didn't know about it. But listen,
they made one comment, mate. They made one comment and they said that wasn't very nice of you, right? But the fact that they didn't put any F-15s up in the sky, because they've got decent these air forces and stuff. It was like, well, you kind of need to say that. They've not reacted to it whatsoever, other than one statement saying that wasn't very nice, basically. So I kind of think everybody knows what's happened there. It's been a attack on Hamas. Apparently, they were having some meeting, and
definitely. I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about it. I'm going to kind of try and get a wee bit of research later and see. And obviously we spoke about it on our podcast, Craig, and Qatar have always been a back door for like even like Netanyahu and stuff like that, and they're all different. I mean, you could go into it. It's an absolute minefield. Yeah, and they'll fund any terrorist organisation. So it's like, as I say, it's just one of these things where I don't even know how to. It's bonkers to me. Like I was actually like looking at X last night, and I was just like, I mean, obviously sometimes you have a laugh, right? And some people get you and bam you up and whatever, and some people get you back with comments and stuff. But I mean, it is an absolute cesspit now. Do you know what I mean? Like there's very hard to find a positive comment on X. Do you know what I mean? It's a great platform for discussion, but it's very hard to find like where you're going to unite. And I think like the what you guys are doing on the 20th is going to be very interesting, I think. And obviously me as somebody who's supposed to be left wing, like I don't see any far right kind of movement on that at all. Do you know what I mean? I don't see that being. I know the people that are involved. I know some of the people actually really well. Some great speakers will be there. So I don't, as I say, I don't see it as far right at all. Like it's certainly no
Sean,
the way I see it.
It's no surprise I've been out protesting, right? It's kind of, I've been making videos of it, but I know you've not on any sort of topics, right?
Yeah.
And I'd say we agree 99% of the world, maybe 90% of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But what I found, so you're a wee step aside for it, you're not in that protest sort of world right now. What I found was bonkers, and I like your sort of input on it. John put out one post and never said anything other than a place, a time, and something to like unity or something like that, right? There was nothing about any of the topics getting discussed or any of the topics that people were to protest against. It just said basically enough's enough time for unity or something in a date and a place. Within hours, Stand Up to Racism had put out a call for a counter protest. We need to keep the far right off our streets. And you're like, you're mental. You're absolutely mental, because nobody had said anything about what the protest was. And I hadn't even, like, see, if I put it out, I could understand folk going like that. Well, that's that far right, racist, fascist, thug, these boxes that folk fit, right? But you can't throw any of that at John. And
no, I mean, John could have turned around and said, listen, I've got Jeremy Corbyn and Tommy Sheridan, and they hadn't even let him 100%. Get the speakers. Do you know what I mean? So it's very strange.
Had announced a speaker, had announced a topic, and the far left or these cranks are like, we need to take to the streets, keep the far right off our streets. And I think I spoke to you about it. It's like the far left, the loony left, right? Not the ones you can ever talk to. It's like for a generation, they've been maybe even longer. They've had like the sole rights to protest in Scotland. Nobody else has really ever bothered, right? Apart from me for a wee 3 years with the Rangers stuff back 10, 12 years ago. But the kind of, that was all it was. It was all lefty things. Like if it's CND, let's face it, that's probably the first protest I can remember. Then it was it's Free Palestine, and it's trans rights, all that stuff. It's all mad mental left stuff, right? And I just don't think their psyche can accept now that other people are out in the streets. I mean, I've talked to people at these protests. Kevin was talking about somebody who spoke at a protest last week, and they were like, and DGR, he's done things up in Aberdeen. He's sticking microphones in people's faces, and they're like, yeah, we agree with what you're standing up for. We just don't like the way you're doing it. Like, how bonkers is that? So you've got three options. See if I call a protest tomorrow about whatever, wherever, right? You've got three options as a human being. Come and stand beside me.
Mm-hmm.
Come and oppose me because you totally disagree with what I'm arguing about. Or stay in the house, right? Yeah. So if I agreed with somebody's theme of a protest, I can then do one of two things. Either go and stand beside them or stay in the house. The last thing I would do is go and counter-protest them because I agree with them, but I just don't like them. You with me? So it's the psyche. It must be that they feel like, oh, they're taking away our hobby,
Listen, I'm kind of past even trying to work out like what's happening with the like both sides. Do you know what I mean? And I don't, it's like, I don't know. I think people need to realise that the old left and the old right aren't what they used to be, and the far right isn't what it used to be, far left isn't what it used to be. And I think, to me, like, I know that I'm a wee bit more of a conspiracy theorist than you, Craig, but I kind of believe like the now we're kind of watching a wee bit kind of in real time. We're watching the collapse of, and we're watching a kind of, I don't know, like a kind of tech oligarchy maybe taking over or something. Do you know what I mean? Like that seems to be what I would see coming into play. But again, this is the type of stuff where you go, how much of this is actually like, how do you know what I mean? Like how much it's actually,
part of a plan. I've just noticed there's two folk in the waiting to come up, so I'm just going to conscious that. But I want to ask you one thing, Sean, and I was get some input of you, but just before I go into others, did you watch the interview I done with a guy called Stephen Barrett?
No, but I'm going to watch it. I've just absolutely no chance to watch it, but I didn't get a chance to see it. I know you said
it's there anyway.
Aye.
Look at it. Give me your feedback on it, mate, because I kind of don't like putting tags onto all these people that we think are controlling governments. I kind of just like to put the facts out and let other people get their own mind. But I was like, oh, yeah, that might be, the way it's the WEF, it's the New World Order, it's the Illuminati, it's the Masons, it's the Jews, it's the whoever, right? And everybody's got a different name that put to it. And I thought, Christ, this could be another one of them. So I have a wee get at mate, and I'd appreciate your feedback. Anyway, Snaps, I hope you've got your IT terminal working now. Are you there, Snaps?
Hi, can you hear me?
100%. How are you? Trying to bring you up about 5-10 minutes ago, but it was as if you maybe went to do the dishes or something, Snaps. So
I think I had the volume down on my phone.
Ah, right, they couldn't hear us. So how are you tonight, Snaps, and what do you want to talk about?
I don't leave my property. I know the big areas are now protesting, but people don't realise the little towns like Armadale, Bathgate, Whitburn, we're now overrun.
Seriously?
Seriously. They're now turning the Lloyds TSB Bank right next to the job centre, imagine that, into, what do you call it, temporary flats for illegals. The farm foods, there's also a mosque being built right now. And
I seen the farm foods now. I seen that was a bit mental.
Also, I just want to say, I've clicked why all the shops are shutting down. Because for the new people coming in to open the shops for the new people, for their taste, what they want, for their community coming in, overrunning us.
No, I don't want to dox anybody. I don't want to give details away for anybody, but you're obviously speaking about 3 towns that are in quite a little close triangle. You mentioned Bathgate, Armadale, and was it Whitburn?
Yeah.
Right. I lived in Bathgate for a while. When my marriage collapsed back in 2008, I was working in Edinburgh, and my family home at the time was Cambuslang, so I rented a brand new flat in Bathgate, and I stayed there for a couple of years. And that's probably the biggest of the 3 wee towns, right? So is there already a presence in, is there a hotel or something that's been used that I don't know about out there?
We're already overrun.
So and is it asylum seekers, fighting age men that you're seeing in your streets?
I don't go out anymore. I have to get someone to take me to go and get my electricity, because I can't even get in a taxi anymore. Because they're all running the taxis. They're all now running the garages.
So is it have they got an asylum seeker hotel or something in that area, or why is there suddenly this? I mean, it was 2008 when I lived there, right, and I would have thought it was quite identifiable. It was the people about.
It was a community post that put up about a certain place in Livingston, but they also put up the named places in Bathgate. But we already know they're in Bathgate. I don't know if it's the old Dreadnought, because that was a strange situation during COVID, what happened with that. Now, these are grade 2 listed buildings. Anyway, I'm going to go. Right. I just wanted to mention, it's not just the big towns, please, guys.
No. Well, that's why that's why Peterhead are all protesting, because they're no big cities, but they've had, issues with people in these migrant hotels. 3 from the Falkirk one alone charged with things. One of them was found guilty in a court of law just last week for a horrible, despicable, unsayable word on YouTube to a young girl. So
Craig, sorry to interrupt.
You can interrupt me anytime.
We've not heard anything like that yet here, but you've got these people living in communal flats, from the top balcony throwing their rubbish, big bin bags, on the ground. The council don't care, because they're obviously getting paid. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I didn't want to dox myself, anything, okay? Thanks for listening, guys.
No, I appreciate that.
Back on the telly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Have a great night. That's terrible to hear, isn't it? It's just, it's a different, it's it's the impact it's got in communities. Because if you look, even Bathgate's not a big massive place, but it's certainly the biggest out of the places that Snaps was talking about there. And if you put any number of guys in an area, even if they're not, like doing things to young girls that's happening in other areas, it's going to have an impact. It's going to have an impact in services, in the community itself, and
do you know, I was saying this the other day, Craig, right? And and I don't, you know the way I feel about immigration. I believe we should have immigration, but it needs to be vetted. I believe that I believe that what's happening now is a kind of manufactured kind of, and obviously MD that wants to kind of go and look and see what I think about it. I'm not going to go into it all, but what I did say to somebody earlier on was, can you imagine if you were to take, just say, a scheme in Glasgow, right? Just pick a kind of working class scheme in Glasgow. I'm not going to name any because just in case somebody gets offended, but just take that full working class scheme in Glasgow and you moved that right into the middle of Dubai. It's not going to integrate. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to work. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work with the thing. So I think
if you take a few people, at that community and put them in, and they're not get the same impact. I think 100% agree with you.
So if you take and obviously the influx, what we're seeing now is a huge influx of people who are obviously coming from like whatever war-torn countries or whatever you want to call them, whatever, and they don't integrate into the society. It's I think that's when you need to ask why. Why is it happening? Do you know what I mean? And obviously, Craig, you've been on some of the kind of migrant routes, which is very interesting videos for MD to watch. But it's just to say, like, it's not just like when you try and integrate anything like that far too much, it's not going to work. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you put too much of anything in, and I think that's the problem. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what I see.
No, it doesn't always need to be people breaking the law. It's just going to have an impact on the community.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, listen, I think we've proven that Kev has changed because we didn't speak to him for about 4.5 minutes and he's left the room. I've obviously offended him. Kev has changed. But anyway, we've got somebody coming in, special guest, who's up for a BAFTA award at the next BAFTAs for his TV debut on STV recently. Stephen Rennie. Have you got an agent like that yet, Stephen? Or you're still talking to us, commoners? You're muted, Stephen.
He's actually disappeared, but Houston, we have a problem. Kev's changed.
Oh.
Go on. Right.
He's gone.
Right, so, Stephen, we need to share sharing's caring, right? We need to share your story. So Stephen's gave my phone this thing about doing this interview with STV, the tip. I just do this, do that, try not do this, just blah blah blah. But and then you've just got to cross my fingers and hope that they put out the sort of 10 to 30 seconds that you're not saying something stupid and not carving you up. So how long did you spend with the guy for STV, Stephen?
About 45 minutes.
And how long with that was you on camera?
Well, on our camera for a full time, but on their camera for about 15 minutes.
So you done a 15-minute interview with STV, and they were doing an article about what's happening up in the northeast. And just so people that don't know you, you're the guy that organised Peterhead. What part of a team that organised Peterhead's first ever protest, and you've now been very active with your neighbours in Aberdeen. And they interviewed you for 15 minutes, and they put how much out on the TV?
5 seconds.
Oh God! I was building you up there for the punchline. I don't know what's happening with your link. So, Stephen, eventually they edited it down to a full 5 seconds, and you're like, what was the actual point? Do you know what I mean? You could struggle to get Stephen Rennie, organiser of the protest in Peterhead, out in 5 seconds. Do you know what I mean? You think, what was the actual point of that? I think what's happened is you maybe spoke to me when you shouldn't have, because what I was explaining to you was whatever they ask you, if you've got your point to get put out, then just always go back to your point. So you actually maybe done better than they expected, and they didn't have anything that they could turn around and go, look at this racist idiot. That
that's what I think happened.
So what was it? What was that about, Stephen? What was what was it about? Was it just a kind of interview about what's happening up beside you guys?
Well, it was about raising the colours, and they wanted to hear the explanation behind it, and then my thoughts on the council taking them down, and then they kind of try to spin it round to being about immigration. Spun it back and says, no, it's about unity. Asked a few more questions, told them that there was no problem with migrants, just illegal ones. We understand some of them are here seeking refuge, but we can't tell the difference. It was actually good. So I think that's why they cut it to 5 seconds, because they didn't get what they were wanting.
It's not like them, is it?
Mm-hmm. We kind of had that fear because Stephen obviously has been at the forefront of this up in Peterhead, that they were going to try and get that one comment that would like make him look like a dafty, look like an Ed, make him look like proper, racist National Front type guy. So if they've interviewed you for 15 minutes, they've obviously been making loads of fishing expeditions trying to get you to say something. And the fact that they've been able to not do that is you've done well, to be fair. I was thinking about that after spending 24 hours slagging you. But but when I was considering it, when you do a big drive that I've just done, you get a lot of times when Kev's not talking, you can actually think about things, and just going through that in my heat, and I thought, must have done really well that they've not had the ammunition to throw back at you. So we now know the whole reason they got you on was to try and show you up as being the guy that you're, and well played for doing that. So, right, I've got Bobby. I think I'm hoping he's been trying to get in a few times, and his IT's not been particularly working. So, Bobby, are you there?
My IT should be sorted out. Can you hear me?
We're good to go, buddy. Hear you now.
Okay. Houston, we have a problem. How come it's all about Denzel now?
Oh,
change. This used to be a political show. Now it's all about Denzel.
He sent us a message here. He says, I'll get you Nick out for 10 minutes, Biggin. I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'll text him back. He's away to get selfies and autographs. Somebody says to me, I put a wee video in the last week that they gave the Milan Rampant to. And somebody was like, oh, that's lovely. That was a great wee video. Did you sign it for her? I was like, no, Kev did. He's getting hot quarters. He's going into spaces on Twitter, which he does a lot during the day, and folk that he doesn't think the wind up of like that. Kev, you've changed. Sean, I don't know if you caught it, but we put out a video from Saturday when up to a protest in Edinburgh, and he wasn't too happy with something in the protest. They put a video out. He's got 6,000 to 8,000 something like that followers on Twitter. His video reached over 500,000 on Twitter, right? So it's proper viral, right? Mm-hmm. So when we were going down on the Sunday down to Epping, it's like, yeah, that video, I think 300,000. Like 10 minutes later, it's 350 like that. You've changed, right? We just became the team of the journey. And we had folk in the pub in Epping just going up and go like, Kev, you've changed, right? And he's going nuts. So that's the story behind it. Anyway, Bobby, what's the pleasure of your company tonight?
The pleasure of my company tonight is, again, I've put my Yuri Bezmenov back on the front, and in part that's because I watched something which I found extremely enlightening. It takes about 6 minutes to watch it, and I've put it in the private chat so that you can look at it. It's a guy called Ivor Cummins, and he's called it Must Watch, Can't Miss This Short One. And this guy sits and explains exactly where we are today, how we got there, what's been done to us, and why, as a society, we refuse to believe that these arseholes in power are actually against us. Mm-hmm. And I think if you watch it, I think you might like it enough to say, do you know, I'm going to put that in my show. Because
keeping up finished up. Remember, I've got a bad habit now. What I'm doing, Bob, I'm getting into I get in my room, I'm taking a laptop with me, and I'm sitting with videos and just watching at YouTube. Do you know what I found out the other day, mate? Two bizarre facts, right? And this sort of started. See, when you've got YouTube channels, see the analytic information you get, but behind it, it's just nuts, right? If somebody like me spending hours just looking at figures, right? So I'm a weirdo. And it tells you you've got, it records how you're watching. It's either through TV, a phone, a computer, or a tablet, right? So there's 4 ways of watching any of my videos. So you would think, in a perfect world, each would be 25%. But my TV audience to watch me through their TV is always around about 50%. And I'm like, that's nuts. Why am I getting... I found out that's no nuts. That's kind of what's happening, because more and more people are watching YouTube now on the big telly in the middle of the living room. And I think that's great, because that wee box in the middle of the living room is a box that we've all believed all our life to tell us the truth, right? So people are just going, you know what, I'm not listening to shite anymore. I'm going on to YouTube, right? Now, YouTube is the second biggest platform watched on people's TVs in the whole of the GB, right? So that means there's more people watching YouTube in their living room or in their bedroom on a TV than watch Netflix. Netflix is about the only thing I watched in my telly, so I've now got it as a monitor here, right? My telly's there now. It's not in the living room, right? Because I've not turned it on for a year. And the only thing I did do was watch Netflix. There's more people watching YouTube in living rooms in the UK than Netflix and every other platform bar one, and that's the BBC. And that melted my heat even more, because I was like,
aye,
how is that still the most popular? It was blowing my mind that YouTube's the biggest outside the BBC. Do you know what I mean? That's mental for a guy that's on YouTube. But the fact that the BBC is still the biggest, I just go like that. Known folk. And it was, do you know Basil? I don't know if you're on Twitter. It was Basil. We were talking to him the other day there, and we were doing something. And he's like, you're YouTube. Now, one of the guys down south at YouTuber said, Craig, you're in 80,000 subscribers. That's phenomenal. I was like, mate, you've got like hunters. And he went, aye, I live in England. We've got 10 times the population down here. He's like, so if you factored that in, if you were in England and you had an English accent, you could probably be 800,000 now. And I went, that's not bad. It turns out I've got more subscribers on
you know, you're starting to change. You're starting to change.
I've changed. No, it was Basil that told me. I was like, what? He went, you've got more than... And I was going to meet a journalist, by the way, that used to work for STV. He works for ITV now, and I went to meet him for a coffee on Thursday. So I was winding him up about that. And I'm only something like 5,000 behind BBC Scotland. Now, they obviously get millions of viewers watching in different things, but it's a pure comparison just on YouTube. That shows you what's happening with people's viewing. Right, and STV and BBC have had YouTube channels for longer than the 2 years I've had one, and it just blew my mind. And I'm like,
no, your analytics are crazy, man. So your analytics are mental.
I needs to learn. I'm about to turn around and send the BBC the partner letter saying, don't want to deal with you anymore. Why are we paying that tax?
No, it's that. I think you're right, Bobby. But I think Stephen, I know a few podcasters who have been at it a long, long time, and they've not get anywhere near 80,000. Obviously that's my missus squatting about the back there. But it's no. As I say, no, your analytics are crazy, man, crazy. And I'm talking about people who have got quite big followings on all different platforms. I think what you work out, I don't know if you see this, Craig, but you work out that different platforms like different things. So I don't know, you'll tend to see that if you've got a YouTube channel, people will like to watch that. But if you've got Twitter, I've seen people, and I know people with 500,000 followers on Twitter who really don't have vetting to them. Do you know what I mean? There's no personality. They just know how to work social media. And TikTok and all that, the stuff that they've got going on. I mean, you're probably like yourself, you get demonetized for these places dead quick. But they invite you down to these TikToker events and stuff like that. And I was talking to a lassie. I actually had her on my podcast, a wee lassie called Emma Cassidy. Lovely lassie. 500,000 people on her thing. And it was basically, I was just asking her, how do you build that kind of social media up? And she was basically just saying like that it was just over making daft videos and stupid things like that. Do you know what I mean? And so no, I think you should be really proud of what you've got, mate. I think you've got a massively sound audience, mate.
Mm-hmm. And you know what frustrates me though, Sean? I don't buy into this shadow ban thing, right? I've got a theory. If nobody watches your video, it's because it's a rotten video, right?
I agree with that.
What I noticed recently, I seen a big downturn in views. I put out 3 videos one day, right? And I thought there's one nailer in there. There's one that's all right. There's one that maybe shouldn't be out because it wasn't brilliant, right? It wasn't a great story. I put 3 out one day. Not one of them got over 1,000 views, right? And I'm like, this isn't making sense. So I was looking at my analytics, and the 2 key drivers in YouTube are click-through rate. That's the amount of people they put on their homepage. And if as long as it's over 5%, you're doing all right. And then it's the watch time. And as long as that's over 25, 30%, you're doing all right. That's kind of, in my length of videos, that's where you need to be. It was hitting all the bells. These runner videos, they were all hitting, they were at 10% click-through rate. They were at 40% watch rate, some of them. And the YouTube still weren't putting them in front of anybody. Then I had people comment on my lives. I'm not getting my notifications for your channel, Craig, when you put out videos. I've just realised that I'm unsubscribed, and I've never unsubscribed to you. So I contacted them in 2 days. I was on for 3 different times.
I know. I believe you do. I think you do get shadow banned and stuff like that, Craig. And I think you need. I mean, obviously, it depends on what you're talking about and how. What
then happened was it was like turning the tap back on me. My next video done 30,000.
No, it's
my next video done 30,000.
That'd be last year I was talking about. She was talking about algorithms and how they work, and she was basically saying like there is people that like see like Mr. Beast. He just mastered the algorithm of YouTube. Like it wasn't, there was nothing special about him. Jake Paul was another one. Just mastered the algorithm, mastered how to do it. Do you know what I mean? There is certain ways that you can do it. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, your content needs to be decent. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, you know yourself, you sometimes put videos out. Like I've got Matt Letizia going out this week, and you think, oh, it'll be great and all that. But see, so far it's not been doing too well on the analytics, and he's not. Well, no, Letizia is not really that well. He's been kind of banned as well, so you don't know if it's names and stuff like that. Sometimes it seems to be. If sometimes you put in a name and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? It does it as well as other ones, but I don't know. I mean, it's the AI is that advanced now that you really don't know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? You really wouldn't have a clue what they were doing in the background.
Do an interview with Tommy Robinson and see how you get on.
Listen.
Aye.
Well,
that would go. I could do that. That would go well. I'm sure Big Houston would do one, but I'm pretty sure he would probably know.
I don't know.
I think you should be good actually.
There's things that I can't talk about right now, and when I can talk about them, there'll be a few stories that people. And I don't see people that talk to Tommy once in their life. They want to tell all their pals to talk to Tommy. That's not my style, right?
No.
I've got 2 stories that I want to tell people that aren't political. They aren't about any things, his grooming, nothing like that. Just things as a person.
Yeah.
Right? That will give people, like, take all the other stuff away, take the character away, right?
Yeah.
Here's 2 things that I done. And I'll guarantee you the people go, 1, no, that didn't happen. Or 2, Jesus Christ, he's a decent human being. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of all I can say about them now. I see this, by the way.
I don't know if I should mention this one. You might be meaning something along the lines of the Muhammad Rami story.
I don't know what that is.
No. There's a guy called James English and he brings anybody on, talks to anybody, and he does an interview with Tommy Robinson and a bloke called Mohammed Rami. Now, at the time, Mohammed Rami was being accused of doing things with one of our children. Turns out it was a girl that turned around, went away down to London, bought a hammer, hit herself in the face, and came back up the road saying, that child raped me, that boy raped me, he raped me. She was seriously ill. But one of the things that was curious about that when you watch it is Mohammed Rami's talking away, and he's trying not to laugh sometimes. He's saying, I'm sitting at home and I've got all the CCTV cameras up because I'm terrified of what I'm being accused of. It's affecting my businesses and everything else. He says, next thing I see, Tommy Robinson's walking up the bloody pathway. And I'm thinking, that's all I bloody need, a bloody racist like him, and actually coming to see me. And Tommy, and I can get a bit emotional about this bit sometimes, Tommy basically stood and said to him, my kids have suffered the following things because of what I say. He said, your kids will be suffering the same things because you've been accused of something that nobody actually knows whether it's true, whether you did it or not. So I'm here to actually talk to you about what happened. He said, I'm not here to say you're guilty. I'm here to find out whether you are guilty or whether something's gone wrong here. And the two of them spent about an hour talking. And Mohammed Rami, bless his little cotton socks, when he went back to the mosque, he openly said, he said, I went back to the mosque and they were all going nuts about the fact that Tommy Robinson's been at your house. You know, what a Nazi, what a Nazi. He says, and I had to stand and look at me and go, no, the only one that stood up for me. So that shows you how much of a Nazi he is and how much of a fascist and a white nationalist.
Aye, when I was doing the when you go, mate?
No, I was just going to say, like, obviously, and I know, like, obviously people can have their opinions on my background and my conviction and whatever, do you know what I mean? And I know I spent a long time in prison for murder, but it was a fight that went wrong, and sadly somebody lost their life when I was 19, do you know what I mean? And I didn't commit that crime, and whether people want to believe I did, it's irrelevant, and it's not really for the topic. But what I'm trying to say is, I know how that system works, and I know how that system can basically turn on you. I know how it does it. I've watched how I can genuinely swear on my two kids' life. I've had Crown people saying to me, "Look, they know you never done it, but you were there, so you were basically you should have been done that in part," and stuff like that. So I mean, in my case, is quite complicated, but I certainly know how that system can turn on you, and when it does turn on you, it's pretty serious. Do you know what I mean?
No offense, Sean. I don't think it's fair to say that it can turn on you. The system turns on a lot of people. The system will quite happily turn around and blame people. You look at what happens when there are unfortunate pregnancies and men are forced, even though they can prove it's not their child, are forced to pay for it. Why does that happen? It happens because the government doesn't want to have to fit the bill. That's why that happens.
No, definitely. Mate, listen, I've seen it. I work closely with like the Miscarriage of Justice organisation, and I see the damage it does to people, and that, like, I include, like, I've got like good friends like Joe Steele and that. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we all know his case back in the 80s and stuff like that. And I've got like loads of pals who, like, I actually had Patrick Maguire up at the weekend. I spent some time with him on Saturday. He was part of the Guildford case. His In the Name of the Father. I don't know if you've ever watched that film, but he was part of that. He was up spending some time with me on Saturday. So I mean, I certainly know how these people, the system can change on you, and how it works, and some of the stuff's pretty unbelievable, and I think that's what they really, that's what they play on, is the fact that people would find it hard to believe some of the stuff that goes on in these cases. And listen, as an ex-person who was in about that lifestyle, and I knew all the criminals and I knew all that, I can assure you that these people accept bribes and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But trying to convince people of that as well is another thing. It is a corrupt system, but it's a hard one to turn that. They do well to play to kind of make their their system look kind of infallible. Do you know what I mean? They're really good at that. They're good at it, but it's just one of these things that we'll see what happens.
Right.
Craig, you've been exercising. Craig, you've been
No.
exercising. Sure.
No.
Because while Sean was talking there, I was thinking that's some six-pack you're developing in your forehead.
You've changed. Remember
Yeah, we're all changing.
button, mate. Right. Now, was that funny before you delivered it? Did you think I'll get a shot?
I didn't know whether it would come across well or not.
What was I going to say? There's some people there, John. What was the first mention of it? About that horrible murder over in America. That young girl. I believe she was only
On the train,
new to the country.
the Ukrainian girl.
John Card was mentioning it. Horrific. Just it doesn't matter. You can get into he was this, he was an immigrant, he was that. It's society, right? That is proper, just horrific. And I've seen a video of that. I wish I had never seen it because that will never leave me. It's just one of these crimes that you think, imagine ending a life like that. Such a young girl with so much ahead of her, and she's landed in a new place. She's obviously full of the joys of life, looking forward to her new life, and bang, 30 seconds later, there isn't one. And that's no, without going into other people's details, some boys having a fight and somebody's head gets smashed or an accident happens. That's premeditated. That lassie's getting it. And it's just it's horrific.
No, I think often, so obviously some people can't and understand, people are entitled to their opinion, but I think when you're talking about my case and you're 19 years of age and there's something happens over a girl and a fight breaks out and somebody sadly loses their life, I think people can all kind of maybe put themselves in a position where there've been similar situations or they can put themselves, but I think these type of things that are going on and these type of, as you say, watching that, I wish I had never seen it either. It's a different, it's very different for but as we said, we've got enough kind of working class violence and stuff like that we need to sort out for ourselves, if you know what I mean, in our own schemes and stuff. It's kind of.
There was a case. There was two guys my dad knew, and the two of them were pals, and they walked to a social club one night, and the two of them had a drink in them, and the two of them did a wee tiff, and it was like a slap, and the boy's head hit the curb on the way down, and he never made it home that night. And that situation and that situation we've all seen the video of are two totally different things. They're totally different crimes, right?
Yeah.
And seeing it, you just think, it's like how do people get to that point? Do you know what I mean? It's horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. But for the grace of God, you know what I mean? Could be any of us. There's Margaret, Research Achievement Society, folks, very informative. Well, what you do, Margaret, is go into my videos and look at about the 3 or 4 videos ago. And I done an interview with a barrister from London, a guy called Stephen Barrett, who's very, very intelligent. And it's about 40 minutes long, I think. And he's very clever. And what happened with me, I'd been asked to talk at London School of Economics March, April time. And when I came back up, somebody came into I think it was there's Gino De Campo. And can I let you in, mate? Kev's in the night. Somebody said, that was the Fabians that started that. That was all I knew about them. And then I thought, what is this Fabians? And I started this journey of asking questions. And then I saw Stephen saying some stuff. Shut up, you crank. Do you know, somebody actually thought I was saying a derogatory name to Roman Catholics. It starts with an F, right? I went, no, a Fabian. So
you're a Fabian, yeah, boss.
And I saw dirty orange Fabian. And I seen Stephen had put some tweets out, and I'd been in a couple of spaces with him on X over the last year or two. So I sent him a message. He said, "You up for doing this?" And I was like, what a fountain of information that guy was. Scary. So that's my next wee project. I'll probably end up watching about 27 hours worth of Fabian videos when I'm in my bed tonight and I'll get any sleep again.
You'll be up for weeks and night terrors with him.
Well, that link I put in your private chat. Yeah, the link I put in your private chat, that explains where we're going, and it's Fabian Society. But he never mentions the Fabians, he just mentions the basic principles of how they do it and the 5 or 6 steps they put it into.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really encouraging. I think it's encouraging that people are. I think it's encouraging that people are opening their minds to these things. I think it's encouraging that people are looking at different, and it's like whatever view you're coming from, it doesn't matter like where you're coming from, what your views are, or here or there or whatever. It's everybody can feel that kind of unease in there. Everybody can feel that there's something no right. There's something no right. Do you know what I mean? It's like everybody that's involved or interested in politics can feel that there's something in there. And I think that's what it is. It's people are starting to kind of wake up to the fact and listen. We spoke about digital IDs and stuff like that before, and I think that was the biggest trigger. I was disappointed, to be honest, with the kind of lack of people talking about it. But there is loads of people talking about it, if you know what I mean. But I was disappointed in the lack of people that were actually talking. When Keir Starmer I thought that would have been like it'd have been like people would have been like, no, that's not happening. But maybe they just need to see the next steps, and then hopefully
Sean, I need to ask you something personal. If you don't want to answer this, just tell me, right?
Aye.
See that big cloak behind you? That looks like a Sonic emblem.
That is. That is.
No, right now the way the ones are.
It probably is. Shown as a Protestant. she'll probably put up for a laugh.
Right. Guys, I need to put these all out of space. I'm going to need to put every one of these out the room, because we've been joined by the world famous internet sensation that is Denzel. Kevin at No Change to the Ranta. How you doing, Kevin? Thanks very much for.
I can't believe I'm sitting with all you peasants.
No. Do you know the Campo just came in just to visit you, because he seen the title of the show was Kevin the Ranter, and he was most disappointed. He was nearly in tears, a young lad, when he came in and see you weren't here. So how's that, Kevin? You're there signing autographs?
But listen, John, just give us a DM and I'll help boost your profile on this platform, big man. All right. Good on it, man. What a piss take. Nah, I had to nip along my mozzie. I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, no problem.
Listen, right, so, guys, I'm going to get your head right, but I'll speak to you soon,
sure,
right?
You
I'm
take care, buddy.
Right. I will do, right? See you later, guys. Thanks for having me. Mate. See you later.
Right. See you later. John, just you probably can keep up with what's happening with our friend the Ranter. He had a video had over 500,000 views over the weekend. He's now became an internet sensation. There was people as far down as Epping and Essex going like that. Here, is that boy Craig that's parley with Kev the Ranter, right? But the question I want to ask you is, do you think he's changed?
Oh, man. Honestly, I'm never going to love this, dude. I'm going to stop posting.
Do you think so? Do you know I think he's changed?
Yeah, I've not changed at all.
Well, was he asking for £5 selfies? Was he asking for £5 selfies in Epping?
Tenner
selfies. Try out do me.
Mate, I can't remember what service station we're in. We're in a service station deep down south, right? And I've walked in.
Don't even start that story.
And we've walked out, and this guy turned on, he went like, "Here, you're that guy on YouTube, right?" And I'm like, "Aye." He's like, I said, "I feel bad, I forgot your name." He went, "I says Craig Houston." And that's it. Love your video. He was sitting like that, his wee petty lip, like that, his wee hand eyes.
How would I have a petty lip?
It was funny, mate.
What would I have a petty
Because you're the internet sensation. You're the whole property in Twitter now.
Honestly,
Elon Musk sent me a message, big man. I kind of think you're Kev's pal. Could you get a word in from me? Could maybe repost some of my stuff, right?
Honestly, man.
But here's a kicker. Have you got a press pass for Saturday?
I'm not actually, and I'm really, but I'm going down there as a supporter.
You don't want to start that conversation.
Anybody who's going to put up, anybody who's wanting to advertise who've got a press pass just goes to show you you're trying to be somebody you're not.
I never mentioned any press pass. But what I will say, Kevin, one of the funniest things, right? We've got wee Shanks in a space on Twitter on Thursday or Friday, right? And she's coming here for she's coming out to London. And she's like, so Kev, she says, I'm coming on Saturday. I'm going into the disabled section, so I'll just get you in there. Right? And everybody's like, talk about. Kev's like, I'm not disabled. She's like, well, how come you keep going on about your scooter? You're a scooter, right? I couldn't move, man. I'm like, no, he's Jimmy out of Quadrophenia. I know Marge out of Benidorm, right? She thought it was a... Anyway, John, what you been up to? You're looking a bit pensive there.
I'm just stressed, mate, to be honest with you. Obviously, there's this one that's on the 13th, and then the week after we've got the one on the 20th in Glasgow. But I'm going to have to get the begging bowl. It's not something I really do, and I don't ask people. But we're going to have to put on a GoFundMe for it to reach targets. And I would really appreciate it if people could do the GoFundMe.
Have you set it up yet, John?
I haven't done it yet. Today I've been doing a lot of running about. Like I said, travelling back and forward, you know, the car doesn't. I wish it could run on fumes. But we're going to have to do a GoFundMe. This is the thing. Trying to do this is try to put on an event. Do you know what I mean? Like the man that you're going in the 13th, he said to me, he says, see if you're ever putting it on, he says, try and make it an event. Try and give them something that they're going to walk away with, that's going to give them a bit of hope, a bit of inspiration, and you know, it makes them feel like they've actually achieved something. So that's what we're trying to do on the 20th. And unfortunately, when you're trying to do it like that, you have to when you're trying to do powerful with the lack of, I don't know, like we don't have big screens in that. That's not for this one, but that'll hopefully be for the next one in April. But at the end of the day, going to have to put this up, and hopefully tomorrow people will help donate. I've spoken to Connor, I've spoken to Kev, I've spoken to you, Stephen, as well. I've spoken to a lot of people, and you know what I mean, like Stephen, you've been doing this as well, mate, and you said it as well. Like it really does take over, but I want the 20th to be a powerful day. I mean, I'm a bit deflated as well with obviously Humza Yousaf coming out today and demonising people for flying the Saltire in Scotland, and he's saying that people are now using it as a warning. And for me, people are not flying flags at this point in time in Scotland, whether it's Saltires or Union Jacks. People are flying the flags because it's a cry for help, and it's a cry for what you're getting is you're getting community. So what you're getting is when you see people flying flags, what you're getting is you're getting people that are saying, we've got problems and we're flying these flags because we're not getting listened to by anybody at this point. And that's where we're all kind of going. And for me, and then you've got Sturgeon as well. So, and people are buying it because you see people ripping these flags down. You see them starting to say, like down in England, that flag's been used to be racism, and I'm like, where are people's heads at right now? I can't believe that people are believing this crap that mainstream media are spouting. But I seen a video today.
This is the way they're doing it, though. But John, this is why they do it, right? It's the same thing as saying Stephen Rennie's a far-right racist, because what they do is they take it away from the point is we've got some problems in Peterhead, and we start talking about Stephen Rennie being the racist. This is just, it's like, we don't want to talk about the problems that we've got in the silent hotels. We'll just talk about the flags. It's a diversion tactic. That's all it is.
Oh, of course. Look, we know that. But I seen a video today, and it was a guy who was actually at the Falkirk protest. And do you know what? It was brilliant. It was just brilliant. You know, like, I'm a Celtic fan. Stephen's a Celtic fan. Kev's a Celtic fan. You know, unfortunately, Craig, you're a Rangers fan, right? That's just the way it is. But at the end of the day, what I'll say, look at his face, man. What I'm saying is the day I seen a guy wearing a Celtic top, flying a Saltire, and he was flying a Union Jack outside his house. And I was like, that's brilliant to see that you've got a guy wearing a Celtic top, a sold tyre, and a Union Jack outside his house. And it's like, that's where we're at this point in time. And I was, but
John, I don't know why you even want to talk about Hamza Yusuf. See him, he's irrelevant.
Oh no, we know that. We know that.
He's the biggest. See him. He is the one that causes the biggest divisions in this country. That guy is an absolute clown. He's a crank, he's a crackpot, he's a goon, he's a balloon, he's a mushroom, he's a sausage. He doesn't belong in this country. He should get on a plane and piss off to Gaza and leave us to get on with it. Because see that absolute rocket, Scottish taxpayer are paying that man a wage to talk nothing about Scotland and everything about Gaza. Do you know what? John Swinney should hang his head in shame. They should remove him and that absolute crank Nicola Sturgeon too. Because see that flag belongs to Scotland. The Union Jack belongs to the flag of Britain. If Hamza Yusuf doesn't like it, he can go too. And as I said in that video last week when I put that salt tyre right in the front of Holyrood, if that flag offends you, then go to a country the flag that you want to support then. Because that's the flag that I sleep under and that's the flag I support. Don't even talk about him, man. He's irrelevant.
Look,
you know
at the end of the day, no, Kev, I'm way 100%. But what I'm saying is, we like see on the 20th. I don't care what flag you're flying. Like, I just want this country to come together. It's like it says on the tin. Many issues, one problem. We've all got all these issues going on. Do you know what I mean? Everybody. And if we all come at the end of the day, we've got. There's kids that are going to be performing on this stage, right? That's what I was away doing yesterday, and I'm talking like world-class kids on this stage performing. This is an event, and again, like the money will be going towards to help these kids to travel and all that. You know, I sat down with them yesterday, and I have to tell them, I says, look, there's possibly a counter protest, do you know what I mean? They're like, we don't care. And for me, we've said it before, all of us in here, whether it's Stephen, Kev, Craig, everyone, we've all got one thing in common. We're all scared for the kids' future. That's the main message here. If you're someone that's worried for your child's future, get yourself along to the 20th and make sure you're heard and fly the flag of whatever you want, because I'll stand by you, whatever you're doing. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings at the end of the day living in this country, and there's this issue. I was speaking to a girl yesterday, her name's Melissa. Have you heard of her? She's Irish. And Melissa is absolutely brilliant. The Irish again were rising at the weekend. I can't pronounce her. Melissa Kumi or something second name is, and I'm trying to see if I can get her over, because the reason I want to get her over is because I want to show that the Irish have got the same issues as the Scottish. I've got people coming up. I've got people coming over for England. And she hasn't 100% said yes, but she's going to speak to me Friday. And I'm like, we need you all to come over. Bring up the English, bring up everybody, and say we're all having the same bloody problems. So
John, I'm just saying. See when Kev had his wee rant there and he went on his wee tirade for about 3 or 4 minutes, did you notice something? He didn't swear, right? Do you know why?
He did.
He never. I was waiting for it. He never done it. Because he's changed.
Do you know why I don't swear?
That's not a sweary word.
YouTube channel.
Because you've changed.
Right? And I know I don't want
you've
to shut
changed.
down. Oh, come on, man. Go and crack this down, right? Because see, at the end of the day, right, I know your YouTube channel, you've told me before you can't swear in it, right? Because you'll end up getting taken down.
It's
right?
never stopped you before. See, before you became famous, you were swearing like a trooper on here.
When?
All the time.
Every time you open your mouth.
Do you know what? I'm going to tell you something, right? And I'm going to swear you.
Even Jenny. Look, there's Jenny's. Jenny's worked it out.
What's Jenny saying, like?
You know, see, no, because he's a struggle reading tonight. If you know your readers on.
Do you know why I'm not reading?
Because
everybody in the comment section is buying into your nonsense about me changing. Right?
Kev, don't ask
Kev, can you send me your autograph? You're internet famous, man.
Oh, man. Honestly. You lot crack me up, man. Look,
So, John,
it just annoys me that guy is still taking a wage out of Scotland, and it just annoys me that he's still getting airtime on telly to create that division. And you know something, John, you said there, I hope that actually comes through, because see these crackpots that turn up at Park Keaton on Saturday and think that the Irish are off for the cause. They're not watching what's happening in Ireland. We've seen it. And it seems they were to actually hear it from the Irish people that they've had enough and they don't want the problems that's happening in their country, then it might actually wake up many of these people.
Well, they have to.
It's not good enough.
Just Kev, there's a load of Kev's love flying about, right? And this is the second person that said this to me. They were standing next to you on Saturday and they didn't know you were the famous Kev the Ranter until you went down to Epping and your face was put about, right? But I've got a great question here for you. Can you see the screen just now, Kevin?
No. Aye, I can do it, aye.
Right. Can you answer that one, please?
What was it said?
What's your pronouns?
Oh,
they, them.
Fuck and off. There you go. Right, that's it. I'm saying no more on the matter. Right, how about bolt and fuck off? There you go. Right, and I'm swearing now. Because it's getting old. Right, it's getting old.
How chuffed were you, Kev? Right,
as old as your video. As old as your video.
Aye.
Exactly.
Aye.
Go on. Chip paper, mate.
See, moving down to Epping, how much of a buzz was it when people were like, oh, Kev and Kev? How much of a buzz was it?
Well, there must be a lot of people did say that. I mean, Martin obviously said it, and what you call it, young Eddie. I mean, but obviously they introduced us, and it was nice to be introduced because at the end of the day, I did come down with yourself. I mean, I can't say this enough. I mean, the credit doesn't lie with me; the credit lies with you. I only piggyback, don't you?
Credit lies with people,
because at the end of the day, it was your idea. You drove down, right? You done the speech, and you drove back up the road. So the credit lies with you. I only piggyback, don't you? Because I thought it was a fantastic idea.
Do you know what I thought was bonkers, right? Once we'd done the speeches and that, we swapped the flags and all that stuff, done a wee couple of interviews, interviewed that girl, Sarah, that had been arrested, interviewed AY Audits. I kind of think that's the first person that AY Audits has put his face in camera for. Because when I interviewed him, and then everybody was starting to disperse, and like, you come to the pub? And we're like, no, we're going to the hotel. Like, no, but there's nothing at the hotel. We're like, we're going to the hotel. We need to go to the hotel. We're not going to come down all the way down here and no go to the hotel. And when it was just like we had to get to the hotel. That was the whole point of the thing. And then we came back up and in the pub, and it was the people were just so nice. They were so like, weren't they? Every one of them almost a person was coming up and going, oh, thanks very much. Can't believe you came down. And you're like, you are inspiring the nation here. See, Stephen, you might be a good person to ask this, because obviously you ended up having protests in Peterhead. Did Epping play a part in that, in the thought process, and let's get this done?
The Aberdeen ones, aye. The aim that we did in Peterhead was more like a rally rather than a protest. But in Aberdeen, aye, after Epping got the result, remember when the women marched into the council offices and then they declared they were going to try and get closed, the council put it through something to the Supreme Court. Then every single one after that, somebody always says, look at Epping. You need to follow Epping. So 100% they're the inspiration up here.
Aye, and that's what I was saying to him. I mean, but they were dead like over the moon that these two guys had come down from Scotland, and they're like, no, this isn't the story. The story is it's folk want to just show appreciation for what you're doing. I kept saying to them, I don't think you get this. You are actually inspiring the nation. Now, see if, touch wood, we all get out of what we want out of the world's problems, and we all see slightly different versions of it. There's a few things that we all agree on. See, when we get them sorted, which I'm quite sure we will at some point, somehow, and somebody writes up the new history books, Epping will be front and foremost. This is where it started. But yeah, there's other people done X, Y, and Z. But Epping will be down in the history books as the place that sparked this. I'm quite positive of that. And it was really like the way that they were like, oh, you couldn't believe it. Am I right, Kev? Did you feel the same? It was getting embarrassing. You're like, no.
Aye. I mean, it was.
It's you guys.
It was humbling. I mean, see the welcome. Just as we were walking up to the crowd, the fact that Martin had obviously kept people aware of what was happening. I mean, you heard them on his live, or they're 5 minutes away. Do you know what I mean? And then the next minute, it's like, oh, Big Houston, the man's here, and it's like, oh, there's Kev, and everybody was making the way you were made to be feel welcome. But it was just like being Peterhead as well. Do you know what I mean? Like when you, John, myself, and rolled up into Peterhead. Do you know what I mean? And the first time we met up with Stephen and Alan and all that, or the boys too. I mean, you were made to feel welcome, and the fact is, we weren't doing anything other than A, making the effort to turn up to these protests, and B, obviously with Stephen's one, we helped promote it. You guys, you and John were epic with your speeches up at Peterhead. I mean, I've never seen, obviously, I've seen you live before, and I've never seen John live before, and John was brilliant. He was brilliant down in Falkirk as well. I mean, the way he gets a crowd going, I mean, Tommy says he's the best ever speech he's ever heard, you know what I mean? But, I mean, look, when you rolled up there, and it was just the people, I can't believe you, I mean, even when you were talking to the right of me, there was a group of like YouTubers were putting their cameras on me, and they're like, oh, thanks for coming down and that. And I'm like, well, I'm only here because Craig wanted to come down, but at the end of the day, and I told them they were smashing it in the park, and I held up that sign for Falkirk where it was that guy that had been done for raping one of the locals, and then obviously I kind of went a wee bit of a rant about that, just kind of saying that this is the reason we came down here, because we're having the same problems up the road as what you're having down here. And the wee woman next to me is like, can I get your flag off you? And you know what I mean? They were taking I only had my salt tire for about 5 seconds, then it was blagged. Do you know what I mean? But even the fact that they made the effort to stay there, because essentially when we left here, it was saying that we're going to get down there for 7 o'clock. But then by the time we got down there and hit all the roadworks all the way down, it was like the 8:30, 8:45 before we got there. And the fact that they waited around just to see you and that, you know what I mean? Brilliant, man. I've never felt so welcome.
Kev, can I ask you, obviously you were at Holyrood, I'd imagine you've touched on it already, but
aye.
The thing is, Glasgow, right, such a mixed city, as we know. And obviously we're hitting this and we're hitting it hard, I hope, Glasgow. I'm hoping that you're saying to me that the numbers in Edinburgh weren't that good, is that right?
I mean, they weren't great, mate. I mean, I know you, I've spoke to you and Craig since, and I know the 2 years have said that it didn't look that bad, but it was because they were quite penned in. I mean, there was nowhere near, wasn't over 100. I can guarantee that right now. It was way less than that. I mean, I'm estimating between 60 and 70 a push. But as I said, when I spoke to you I think I spoke to you in the same day, and then I spoke to Craig later on, and you two were absolutely bang on the money. Edinburgh's no the place to hold a protest, and that was evident there. And I think because I've seen it firsthand, I now appreciate the fact that what you are saying is absolutely bang on the money. So I'll never suggest doing another protest in Edinburgh again, because I just felt that he's a dick. I have changed. But I can't say none now, man. But I noticed Jenny said I was shouting at her on Saturday. It wasn't because I held that same sign up as I held up in Epping in the crowd on Saturday, and I was pointing out to the people that I was standing with that we're the goodies, because we're here to stand up for our children. These people here are the ones that we're protesting against. and I went a wee bit on a bit of a live one. You know what I mean? As I usually do. But listen, John.
Loving the pronouns.
Edinburgh's for the place to protest. Too woke.
I think.
What's that?
Edinburgh's what? What did you say, Denzel? Edinburgh's what?
You're going to stop playing about my titles. He's a fucking dick. Honestly. Absolute bell end.
Mate, I only figured out tonight I could change them. I'm just going to have so much fun with them.
I bet you. So far since I answered John there, I have changed and now I'm he, him. Do you know what I mean? Absolute walloper. But as I was saying,
he's never called you that yet.
He has, man, Bobby. He's unreal. But Edinburgh's too
better one, by the way. I've got a better one. Check Stevens. I've got a new toy. This has got a sense. We've got to just be playing. I've been 12. Do you know what I mean?
Just be careful. He's driving. Don't want to put Murphy's driving.
He's got his eyes free, but he's got an eye free kit.
But just to finish off, Edinburgh's gone. You're no pulling that city round anytime soon. That is just the wokest city in the UK right now. And that was just case in point was Saturday. So it'll be down to Glasgow and the people of Glasgow to turn up in numbers on the 20th and show the rest of the country that the big cities can pull a crowd.
My worry is that we are getting the numbers now. I mean, like, you can't.
What's he going to do this?
Tannereef.
Tannereef.
I knew that mine was a bit. I knew mine was a bit of flag up there. Can see the wee fingers going like that. And I was say putting in there.
Tannereef.
How did I eat that? Get me out of this. You don't do what?
I can't breathe.
Anyway, what the fuck? What was I saying? What was it? Get me after that. Get me back to the I can't even remember what I was saying there.
It was wrong. It's wrong. Yeah, you happy now?
Aye. What was I saying there? You put me off with Tannereef. Tannereef's a belter. I'll give you that one. Can we change yours to Lucy Conley, Craig?
That's a belter. That's the best one tonight.
I know, man.
Get me off
that main screen, man. I guess when you're going after, when you're talking about like the numbers, obviously Aberdeen will get the numbers, Falkirk are getting numbers, Epping's getting numbers, obviously Edinburgh didn't get the numbers, but I think I'm hoping Glasgow will get numbers, do you know what I mean? And I hope it does bring a lot of people together. So the more I'll be putting out a GoFundMe, and if people can help donate to it, that'll help a hell of a long way. And I'm still waiting on a bagpiper. Like a bagpiper, I don't know how. It's incredible. I'm in Glasgow in Scotland, and I can't get a bagpiper. Mental.
That is pretty bonkers, isn't it? When you think about it.
I've asked about 5 or 6, but they're all. I don't know if they're 2 feet.
I'm trying to say sorry here, but I just keep getting that Tannereef in my head. Fucking belter.
That was. I think that was one.
I'm
that'll
fucking
work.
broke. I'm fucking
No,
sweating.
there you
You'd be
go, Kev,
laughing.
we've got yours is
Oh,
back
mate.
to normal, right? Kev,
Oh,
the
famous.
rapper, Twitter famous, right?
I'm fucking sweating. Hear me laughing. That's a belter.
Jesus.
Somebody's not even noticed theirs, right? Look, wait to see this one, right? Nobody's even noticed this one. It's so discreet.
Oh, dear.
Okay, have you see it?
What's that?
The one that's up the screen and now nobody's noticed.
I can see it.
The guff. I need to go. I can't deal with this.
This was an alright space up to about 10 minutes ago. And stop it. Behave yourself, Craig. Reputation. You're trying to get into Holyrood, right? Just
I know, I'm thinking right now. I'm like, oh, God.
Man.
To be fair, Holyrood needs a bit of laughter anyway, Jesus.
Oh, God, there's enough comedians up there. They're just not that funny.
That's the problem.
That was brilliant.
It's fucking boring.
Oh, mate. Oh.
So what's running this weekend? Obviously, we've got London. Is Falkirk running this weekend as well? Or Aberdeen? Is there other stuff on?
Somebody's just posted in the comments there's one at Perth tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Tomorrow?
Aye.
Well, I heard somebody else get arrested up there.
I'm just on the look. The Perth, good numbers tomorrow, 1 p.m. too. It's happening. So, Gavin Sangster.
Tomorrow?
Aye, tomorrow, mate, at 1 p.m.
Oh, mate, I can get to Perth tomorrow, but I can't leave Glasgow till 4 o'clock. Bugger.
I might make it. I'll see.
Well, give us a shout, John. I'll give you company if
It's
you
about
want.
time you turned up at a protest, John. Your absence has been noted in
Aye,
dispatches.
I know. Some of your fans were asking about you in Epping.
The big Tenerife, aye.
Aye, they were like, you seen the big Tenerife, John, bring the noise to Tenerife, John.
Fantastic.
No, seriously, John, there were a couple of folk I'd say to you, what's that laddie, John Watt? Bring the noise, he's good as well. He's not as good as used to, right enough, but
He's cheaper for a selfie.
He's cheaper for a selfie.
I'm trying to see
Trying to help you, John. There you go, John. Somebody trying to help you there.
Oh, brilliant. Aye, that'd be appreciated.
Oh, fucking hell.
It says, so hold on. I've got here Perth's peaceful protest. Remember, tomorrow's peaceful protest is cancelled, and that's on a Facebook page, but that was 8 hours ago.
That might be somebody being at the madam.
I'm going anyway. I'm going anyway.
I'm going anyway.
It's been Gal, I don't care. I'm going. Brilliant. Well, just
John, if anybody gets any help with a piper, fire onto Twitter. Is that the easiest way to get you a DM?
That'll just go into my Facebook, John Watt, and DM me on there. Just follow me and send me a request on that. My Facebook's actually been one of my best apps now. The followers have been going through the roof. It's weird, and that was the most censored one. So, aye, any help would do.
Bonkers, isn't it?
Aye.
I don't know if you got that business suite for Facebook.
What's that, mate?
The business suite for Facebook gives you all the analytics and everything.
I don't know, mate. I just post. I don't know about all that stuff, to be honest. But I just post and hopefully people see the truth. That's what I'm trying to do, mate. You know what I mean? How are you getting on, DK?
It's weird. I've got like 600k views on Facebook, 600 on Instagram, 1.4 million on TikTok, 300k on YouTube. It's just, it's weird. The whole analytics thing. Look into it.
Yeah, you've changed.
I can't use that label just yet.
You've changed, big man. What happened to Stephen Rennie? Was that him just doing a cameo appearance again?
I had the podcast with Young Baraka at the weekend, Craig. That was that boy's got a story and a half, by the way. I'm going to try and start working on that tonight and get it out. Young boy's very switched on, and his story is definitely something that needs to be heard, and he's hopefully going to make it up on the 20th as well. So, looking forward to it. We could sell.
Sandy's going to organise a meet and greet, £50 a go with Kev. That'll get your piper and all that paid for easy.
No bother, man. I'll donate that. And say, no, hold on. What they're saying is,
I'll be giving
50 quid. Listen, what Sandy's actually saying is, I'll be giving you 50 quid because nobody want to meet and greet me for 50 micker. Somebody's saying there's one up in Dundee on Saturday. What a day to put that on.
I think Falkirk's still going ahead on Saturday, I know.
But a lot of people can't go, so it might not affect the numbers a lot. You get something to tell us, Kev?
What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean?
He's doing something.
What
do I mean?
Aye. Oh, what's he put up now? Grandmaster on a jotter.
that last contagious, man. That last contagious, man.
Oh, just stop it. I'm going to write to YouTube, go take that fucking thing off him.
Oh, mate, I need to stop it, right? Because I'll ruin these things. These things are getting a good wee fall, and we're getting people coming up and adding to it and stuff like that. So, I need to
I take it you enjoyed Epping, Craig.
I loved it, apart from the company and the motor.
Oh, piss off, you love the company. I kept you entertained all the way up and down.
Yeah.
He's changing everybody.
Yes, he's changing something. You know when he's doing something because he just goes quiet.
No, right. I had missed a bit out.
Brother Ken, Trumpo.
You're a dick.
Stop talking to me like that. No, John, Epping was brilliant. Epping was epic. Honestly, I loved every minute of that. John, with that crack.
How many people were there?
By the time we got there, we were there right at the death, and they held them back because they were all ready to go home at 8 o'clock. And they were like, no, there's boys coming from Glasgow. They were constantly on the phone the last hour trying to find out when we're going to get in. And there was, I don't know, 100, 150 still there when we got there.
Aye, there was still a decent crowd then when we got down there. It was funny too because once it kind of you said your piece and all that, and folk had obviously got the opportunity to come up and speak to you and what have you, and then what do you call it? It was like you just disappeared. You know what I mean? It was like they were all just waiting for you to come down, and then we obviously went along. Do you know what was quite surreal though? Was actually seeing that hotel right there in front of you, and it was quite an eerie. I don't know if you felt that, but it's quite eerie the way it's all fenced off, the building, all the lights all turned off.
Did you know? But did you not notice? Right up until the last person left, it was in darkness. And as soon as we remember, we walked to the motor, which was up the side street, and then we came back down the lane, and the lights were on inside that building. They kept them out.
But it's actually a lot worse than what you think, because it's not just that one building. The building to the right here, or if you're on the road looking at it, the right to it is actually the same as well. So it was quite surreal to actually kind of see that hotel, which has been all over the news in recent times, to actually see it kind of in the flesh, so to speak. You know what I mean? Was something else.
No, it was just inspiring, mate, the whole thing. But it was funny when we finished and they're like, right, we're going to the pub, and you're like, no, we're going to the hotel.
Aye.
It's like half a mile further down the road. I'm like, what? There's nothing there. Well, no, the hotel's there. We kind of need to go. It was like a pilgrimage, wasn't it?
The only thing that was
That was the whole point,
disappointing about there was one disappointing
But they
aspect.
can't do the speeches. They can't do the speeches at the hotel because the amount of people that have got bail conditions that they can't go near the hotel. So the ones that are all, what do you call it, organisers, there's a lot of them just cannot go. So that's why when they do the speeches, they need to go away for the actual hotel.
There was only one disappointing aspect about the whole trip, though. There was no lefties to shout at for a wee while.
Which was?
There's no lefties to shout at for a while.
Right.
Aye. So you never got to start off your speech with, I want to address the gun platoon first. And then, obviously, secondly, I never got to give them a full repertoire of abuse. You know what I mean? So that was only kind of disappointing about it all. But I made up for it on Saturday and on Sunday.
What do you mean?
Well, I made up for it when I was at Edinburgh on the Saturday, and then I certainly had good fun on the Sunday at Falkirk, as I usually do. But it's a good memory, that one. It's just that it was just the way you were made to feel the minute you walked up that street. I'll not forget that in a hurry.
No.
It was really good. But that guy Gavin Sangster, he's adamant that one in Perth's going ahead tomorrow.
Ryan get arrested tonight in Ayrshire. Who's Ryan?
Ryan H.
No.
Will he get arrested? What for?
Gary, you got any more info on that, please?
I spoke to Ryan today.
Ryan does live in Ayrshire, doesn't he?
Aye.
There's somebody else confirming it. Ayrshire check. I know, unreal. When did you get arrested for talking to John? Could one or two of you send us a wee bit more info on that, please?
I spoke to Ryan this
It's
morning.
just a horrible rumor.
Oh, different? Aye. All right.
Well,
Different guy. Not saying, oh, that's all right, now somebody else is
Aye,
arrested.
aye.
No, but aye, but what for?
There was a one. She was in Edinburgh on Saturday and Falkirk on Sunday too.
Everyone's everywhere though.
Aye, one gets a bit. I met up
That didn't
with
sound
the
right.
other folk, Ian and Anne. I met up with them as well. They've been to a few protests as well. It was quite funny though, because I met going to these protests. I've actually started seeing the same kind of faces are turning up at them now, which goes to show a lot more people are getting a bit active. And on the Sunday as well, when I was waiting for you to come get there was a lassie that turned up as well, and she was at what do you call it, Edinburgh on the Saturday as well, and she was there in Falkirk on the Sunday, and she was at Falkirk the week beforehand as well. So it's good to see that there are people are actually getting around and trying or making an effort to get to wherever it is, because it just goes to show that we're all trying to show a bit of unity and a bit of support to each other. It's just a shame Dundee's going to be on the same week as the Tommy Robinson one, because if there was nothing on this week, I would have pretty sure I'd have made my way up to Dundee. I certainly would like to make an effort to get to Perth.
What's been happening in Dundee?
Well, there's a protest getting set, which, to be honest, is long overdue. Dundee, I'm actually surprised Dundee's taking this long to actually waking up after what happened with these two young lassies, which we now know the full truth behind it, which I'll not say too much on here in case you get censored. But
is that Road with Purpose in, man? You should get him, and he's a good one. I like that Road with Purpose. He's the guy that's always at the protests. Should get him.
Just to what it clarifies. I jump up. Just want to say something here. Yvonne said we should all join the Free Speech Union, right? And I think there's a few folk don't really understand what this Free Speech Union is, because Stand Up saying I'm not joining any union, and somebody else said unions are part of the Fabian Society. You're getting mixed up between a union and a trade union. You've got things like Free Speech Union, you've got things like the Credit Union. They're no trade unions. Free Speech Union is one of the best things for anybody that does any public speaking, does any, even posting things that are a bit iffy on social media, because they will protect you, they pay for your legal fees, they give you advice, and they've helped loads of people that I know. So there's no a trade union, that's a different thing. And they're no part of the Fabian Society, because I know the guy who started it, and I know the Scottish director, and they're nothing to do with the trade union movement, guys. So please don't let that put you off. And it's about £8 a month. So
I joined
people.
I've joined the Free Speech Union because it's. I think for if you're being quite active and you're being vocal at protests, I think to keep yourself kind of covered, I think you really need to do it. Do you know what I mean? Because it just seems to be they're arresting anybody for anything now. So I think the best thing you can do is just to, as you say, Craig. Well, it's $8.99 a month. And that, I don't think that's a lot of money just to keep yourself protected, especially in this day and age.
Well, there's somebody that knows you a bit better than most, mate, Sandy. I take it that's the same Sandy, the Sandy that drags you into species all the time, right? So well done to you, Craig and Kev, also known as the Mod, right? Top legends, thank you for getting down to Epping. So Sandy, I need to just ask you one thing though. Just type yes or no.
No, just no. Just stop it.
Are you a mod then, Kev? Kev, are you a mod?
Let's go a scooter.
Aye, but some people don't have a scooter. It doesn't mean it was a mod, because they're all about the clays and all that. And Kev doesn't have style.
Well, you've seen my dress sense. I look like a mod.
See that one there?
No, but my mate,
Big Kev was scared of AY audits when he was there.
I need one. Did you see the size? John, have you ever seen the size of that boy AY audits?
I didn't even see his face, mate. I've not even seen his face.
Mate. What a size of laddie. And I don't mean, I'm talking built wise. I'm telling you what, I wouldn't want to take a dig off him.
Is he bigger than me?
He's
I'm 6'3", so is he?
Oh, mate, no. I'm telling you right now, you look like nothing compared to him, man.
Aye, big AY.
That's a man mountain here, boy.
Big AY,
Hey, I tell you what, I'm actually surprised after seeing AY audits in the flesh, right? I'm actually surprised that when he walks into the hotels, they didn't actually just pack their bags and fuck off there and then.
Give him a room.
Aye.
You kind of know why he doesn't get much grief, don't you? Oh no, that big lad's going to smash me.
See if Roadway Purpose is in that.
And built like Drago.
I've sent Roadway Purpose a message over Messenger, the link to this if he wants to come in. But he's a good one. I like Roadway Purpose.
Listen, guys, I'm probably going to do about another half an hour. So if you're on YouTube, it's in the description. I'll just put it in the comments there, so it'll be the next thing to pop up in the comments if you're on YouTube or Facebook, or is it hit next? For some reason, it doesn't go for here to the comments next. So I do apologise. But you'll see it in the comments. Oh, you see it? You'll pop up comments on the right. But the big AY's got some following, isn't he?
Aye. Do you know what? He's a good big boy, though. Nice big lad. You can tell he's doing it for all the right reasons, too. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's good to see that there are more and more people are starting to try and do a wee bit more. And everybody's doing it for the right reasons. Keeping everybody away from that square box in your living room and giving them the actual correct information is certainly going to make a big difference. Do you know what I mean? In the long run.
Aye. There's a big flan. How you doing?
The man
Good luck, you guys.
You what, mate?
I tell you lot are killing me, mate. What's wrong with your internet, Craig? You got dodgy Wi-Fi up there or something, bro?
Keeps opening the window.
What's that, Craig?
I'm using the neighbours.
Oh, you got the dodgy Wi-Fi I've heard up there.
Using the
be.
neighbours.
Only Craig though.
Oh, you're killing me.
So how good was Sunday, mate? We thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a great few hours in Epping. The people were wonderful. They're so obliging. They're just grateful that people are there, and I don't think they realise that the impact they're having and the inspiration they're having in the rest of the nation, mate. But I know what a great night we had. We were really blessed with the way we were, yourself and Martin and Ed and all that received us. It was just it made it every mile worth it, mate. Honestly, it was superb.
But I think, like, actually going to a place like Epping, actually seeing Epping, like driving off of that motorway to that roundabout, down that long dark road, 40-mile-an-hour road, and then you come into like a little village, like a nice well-to-do town. Do you know what I mean? Like a nice well-to-do village. And then look what's dumped there, in the middle of 3 schools, 138 invaders. One of the places has been burnt down. There's been many reports of all sorts of alleged crimes. Got to say alleged, but one of them's actually been convicted now.
Yeah.
So it's no longer alleged.
That was one of the things that got me, mate. And I know when you get to a village at night, it's you maybe better seeing it at daylight. But when I go into a small town and village, see if you've got plenty of nice bars, there's like bistros, there's eating places are nice. It's not just Turkish barber, tattoo shop, kebab shop, right? See when you've got all that mix of stuff, you kind of know you're in a decent quality area. A beautiful looking place, absolutely stunning, right? And then when I was talking, I can't remember, it was maybe yourself was saying to me, there's football players and millionaires all in that village. It's not your atypical place they dump the visitors, is it?
Hey, Rod Stewart used to live at the back of it, guys. Rod Stewart, for fuck's sake, would probably live 100 metres away from it, or 200 metres his driveway would have been from it.
Do you know another thing that I didn't notice last night, mate, and Sunday night, but I noticed it today. I was looking for something. I was on maps and I put Google Maps, you drop the wee guy into the road and you get whatever you call it, Google Earth. I didn't realise that just immediately to the left, there's a lovely wee development with about half a dozen houses, and they have to go in a gate, they have to go onto the drive for the hotel, and then they go to the left and there's a little for them to drive through to their little development. You think, you poor buggers.
Yeah.
Lovely wee bit. Absolutely stunning. So, I take it you're going somewhere special on Saturday, why?
Saturday, I don't know where I'm going yet, buddy, to be honest with you.
I kind of thought I'd bump into you in London.
What's happening on Saturday?
Oh, I don't know. Some guy, I don't know if he's big shot, but he's a pal of John Watts. He's having some sort of rally in London. I think there's going to be a couple of people. I hope he pulls a crowd, the lad.
Yeah. I might pop down, see what all the fuss is about.
Oh, brilliant, mate.
Mate, I was at some... So I went to the Excel Centre today, and it was literally, they've got the arms dealership going on there, and you've got these Antifa lot there. Yeah, you got these Antifa lot there. I said to this bloke I was with, I said, look, you don't want to be with me when these Antifa see me. And he was like, what? I was like, I'm telling you. I said, the moment these lot spot me, I said, it's on. And he was like, no, you'll be all right. I said, no, I'll be all right. I said, I'm not worried about that. That's the least of my problem. I said, but you don't really want to be walking into this big crowd with me. Mate, I didn't take another 3 or 4 steps. And then they was there, all of them, surrounding me, all these. I couldn't believe it. I was asking them, which one are you today? Are you Pantifa? Frantifa? Are you Antifa? Which one are you? Which one are you today? One of them went to punch me. So I took a little like half a step back, but I knew that there was a car behind me. So as I took the little half a step back, he's overreached now. So then I went back in to grab him, and I've grabbed his fucking rag off of his head and just ripped it straight off of his head. So his balaclava, all of his balaclava was just shown, and I was just like, "Yeah, I got you, you little bastard."
Hold on. I need to ask a question here. I need to ask a question here.
Yeah.
Was this guy on the glue bag or something when he thought having a dig at you would be a good idea?
Yeah. Because you know what, like, even because you've got to think as well, even for their own cameras and for their own live streams, it's a bit of a scoop if one of them can give me a dig. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do give them a lot of grief, these people. So it probably would be, probably be good for them, I suppose. But it was, we won't let that happen anyway, so.
Crackpots.
Kev, I'll get some bad news for you, mate. Sandy's reply was Kev's a top gent, hashtag changed.
You know what? Piss off, right? I'm blocking these off. Honestly, man.
Hey, well, I don't know if we told you, right, but on the way down, Kev put a video on YouTube from Saturday in Edinburgh.
Man.
He had about the protest. It done over 500,000, right? So
Yeah.
we've been winding him up. Yeah, we've been like, mate, you've changed. See, since you became internet famous, you've changed. We've got everybody. I'm texting pals. He has to go and just send them a message through WhatsApp saying, you've changed, right?
Is this why he was acting up the other day at Epping?
Oh, come on. Don't you start anyway. Didn't you jump in this again? Come
Is
on,
that why he was acting up, Craig? Yeah?
he was asking for security and all that, right?
Is that the same guy as the guy that was, okay, all right. I remember that one now.
No, I'm not that guy, right?
Don't you like Kev?
Do you know what it was, right? I rolled up into Edinburgh expecting something good, right? I was sorely disappointed, and I spoke to Craig. I met up with Craig after it on the way home, and I said to Craig I was angry, right? So I just put a rage post calling it Edinburgh wankers, right? I just told them, to hang their heads in shame for me making the effort to turn up at that, right? And I didn't expect it. Like, I've not got a big account, right? And I didn't expect it to go as mental as it did. But I just put up posts because I was angry about it. Because I've been going on at John and Craig for long enough in private chats, and I've been saying to John, no, John, you need to date at Holyrood. You need to date at Holyrood. And John's like, there's no point. You never get a crowd. I said the same to Craig, and they say you never get a crowd. So to roll up in there on Saturday and see that was disappointing. What made it worse was that wee band of people, the good people that I was standing with, stood and were faced with over, I would say, between 1,000 to 2,000 people just getting dogs abuse for them. So I was angry. So I let my feelings be known.
AY, you still there, mate?
Yeah, go on, bro.
You fancy coming up to Glasgow for the 20th of September, mate?
You know what? Listen, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've actually looked at a flight at leaving London at 8:25 or 8:45, get to Glasgow for like 9:30, 2:45, whatever it is.
Legend, mate.
And then fly back, get the 7:45 flight back out of Glasgow. I haven't booked it. I've looked at it.
I would yeah. If you want some good footage, mate. So the counter protest. So we've got Buchanan Gallery Steps at 1 p.m. The counter protests have went in for 12 p.m. So if you want to get there, mate, the guy, we've notified the police about this anyway. But the guy who's meant to be setting up for us and what, I've told him, I said, you better take some security with you. Do you know what I mean? So just to let you know, mate, they'll be ready to rock and roll by 12.
I don't know. We did look at flights. Yeah, we did look. Yeah, so
hopefully you can make it.
I said to Ray, like, Craig, I said, like, what sort of numbers you think you'll get? But
don't know, mate. So it's
slightly less than Tommy.
Aye.
There'll be a good 4 figures, John. I'm quite sure of
that. I think so too.
There's an appetite. Aye, we've not had any Glasgow since that last one was May last year in George Square, right? And we've done all right that day, numbers wise, but the appetite, the whole political scenery's changed since then. We've had an election since then. We've had a new government since then. We've had the migrants just getting out of control. We've had the news coming out about Glasgow being the biggest recipient of asylum seekers. All with that, it's all heading in the right direction, mate. And even forgetting asylum seekers, people are just pissed off with the government, and they kind of that's how it's getting sold, isn't it? That's what we're going out for. But I just seen on here it says Snack Bar operative. He's been saying, meant to ask Craig, did you see the clip of the guy infiltrating the Claddon Goon Platoon PA system and getting on the mic while someone was talking? If not, I'll get it to him. Go to send me, mate. I kind of think just before we left, we seen a guy getting grabbed out the Goon Platoon and arrested. Remember, Kev? And we're like, I wonder what he's done. So that's what it was. The guys might hope we did. But mate, there was a funny thing happened. Kev saw a guy in Edinburgh on Saturday, right? And his banner said, Big Craig says you're the Goon Platoon. And he was holding it up to the and I'm like, that's brilliant. That's just a catchphrase that's catching on, isn't it?
Out of curiosity, did you highlight that video that was in Sheffield? Have you seen that video in Sheffield? Any of yous? AY, DJR, have you seen the video that was in Sheffield that was kicking about? So basically, there was a Palestinian protest that was happening, and a guy was there and he had a body cam. So I'm going to assume he's kind of like AY audits and he's kind of like what other people do as well. And it turned out that one of the women that was there for the Palestinians, she had all the gear on and all that. Turns out a migrant walked up and groped her.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Sexually assaulted her, right?
Yeah.
So the boy who is, if you want to call it on her side or whatever, right? Doesn't matter. He's ran up and grabbed the migrant and he went, listen here, mate, you're not going anywhere. I've just videoed that and caught you, right? Then what happens is another guy comes up who's the Palestinians, and then he's turned up and went like that. He says, listen, mate, we've got a difference of opinion, but this isn't right. What's just happened? And he went, that's my sister. So they're standing there with someone, and then it's all this. It goes to show you, like, everybody will change their mind when it comes to it. And at one point, at 9 minutes into the video, the guy turns round and he says, "Why did you do that?" And he went, "It just felt like it." He went, "I just feel that way, just feel that way." And he went, "So you think it's all right to go up to a woman like that and do what I don't know what he done?" But and then the police was involved and all that and blah blah blah. And he admitted that he came in off the boat. But this goes to show people that it doesn't matter what side you're on. It's wrong in all levels. Have you seen that video, AY? No?
No, I've seen a clip of the video, but I haven't watched the whole video. I have seen a clip of it. But I haven't. To be honest with you, like, don't really get much time to watch a full video these days. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit, I just end up just watching the clip of it, really, to be fair. But I know it's like this one at Britannia, Canary Wharf. Guy comes into the hotel. Guy comes into the country. Let's start here. Guy enters the country. The next day, he's in Britannia Hotel. Arrived on a coach. Within hours, he's walking the streets of Canary Wharf. High-end area in London. Yeah? Money area. Big money area. He's walking the streets. He's gone into a house. He's got his hands down his pants. There's a blind lady on the sofa. a young girl called Shanae is in the kitchen preparing dinner for her mum. The mum screamed because she's heard a presence. The daughter's come out. She's preparing dinner. She's got a knife. She's chased him out the house. Bearing in mind, she's come in the sitting room. He's got his hands down his pants. She's chased him out the house. Because she's chased him up the road with the knife, she's locked up in prison.
That's right, aye.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
And then nothing even happened to him. They didn't even arrest him. The next day, he assaulted somebody in Hackney, and he got arrested the next day for common assault.
Just a quick one. I see that Scottish Tina's put something in there. Scottish Tina, if you're on X, send me your handle and I'll go and check that one out that you said the AY was going to do. I can go and check that one out. So if you're on X, just give us a shout.
How do you think about the migrants being able to vote now?
Somebody's asking, is that Frank Bruno? I've got news for you, Jencom Priest. AY's smashing it so much on YouTube that Frank Bruno's getting asked to do voiceovers in the style of AY audits. That's how the man's smashing it.
Oh, mate. I can't wait to come off my Facebook ban. I can't wait to get off my Facebook ban, I'm telling you.
Serious? What did you get a ban for?
You know what I got a Facebook ban for?
Go on.
Because I posted a video with Tommy Robinson in it.
Wow.
Shut up.
Straight up, is. You know when Tommy Robinson was at Westminster Magistrates Court?
Yeah.
So I uploaded a video to Facebook from on that day, and then a couple of weeks later, I got a community warning about the video, and then I got a ban until the 18th of September, and I thought to myself, that's convenient. Yeah, like you banned me right until after the I can't post nothing about the protest basically on the 13th, can I?
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yes, I can't post anything on Facebook. I thought it was a little bit suspicious, to be honest with you.
Road with Purpose is saying my TikTok was banned after United Kingdom. 2 strikes while he was asleep.
Craig, listen, right, do you want to hear something funny? Yeah, I'll tell you something even funnier than that about TikTok. I went on to TikTok, put a video up there, done loads of views. Woke up the next day, got a warning. I've been copyright striked on my own video. So I put an appeal in. And I said, no, this is mine. I'm the original. I lost the appeal.
Hey, right, do you know how many TikToks I've had? Hey, right. 25, mate.
Yeah.
25 TikTok accounts.
Mate, I'll get you a laugh, right? I got a video pulled off YouTube, and it was for a legal complaint for breaking somebody's privacy, right? Now, the video was one that John had done in an interview with a girl up in Aberdeen, but she was off camera. I was like, can I use that clip? That was a crack interview. So I done that. There was only 2 people on the video. Me introducing it, saying, sitting here, going, listen, me and John were up in Aberdeen, get this video, and this is great because it's a girl that stays right across the road from the flat, the hotel, and she tells you how it is, right? And then it was John. John goes, excuse me, could you willing to talk to me and tell me? And she says, yeah. He says, do you want to go on camera? And she's like, no, if that's okay. So John's got the camera facing John. So the only 2 people in this video is John and me. And I got a legal strike. And by the way, I'm fucking lucky I still get the channel, but it killed me. See, for about the next 2-3 weeks. I put out 3 videos one day and none of them got over 1,000 views. And I'm like, choked the life out of me. I've still got people tonight telling me that they're not getting the notifications for my channel. Some people have noticed that they're no longer subscribed and all these tricks. And I kind of think every time I get something that's a bit iffy like that, it takes me a few weeks to catch back up, get the momentum going again. And it was a legal complaint about somebody breaking somebody's privacy. I was like, but
see that one made. sorry, see that one with John McCutcheon, Craig? Because that one was always Donna and John McCutcheon. But was that at the time when you were getting choked? And if it was, would it be worth your while picking that back out again?
Nah. See with YouTube, see when you put the same video out twice, the algorithm understands it, and they just chokes the life out of it, and then you get another fucking wee strike against you because they go, well, he's just not putting out original content. Because I get caught a couple of times with that as well. You know, I'd put a video out and it maybe made an ass or something, so I would hide the video, put another one up and think, why has nobody seen it? You know, maybe made a mistake with maybe a bit of silence for the intro or some shite, right? And because 99% of the video was the same as the one I put out an hour ago, they would just not put it in front of anybody. So once a video's out, you get one shot at it. Because you can take it off. Yeah, mate.
Mate, do you know what? Yeah, no, you're wrong there, buddy. Because every one that I've had taken down, so every video I've had taken down, so we'll go to the fire one at North Weald, the Phoenix. I put that up. It done 100k or done 96k within 24 hours, and then it got taken down. I left it down for 3 weeks. I put it back up again 3 weeks later, and it done about 80, 90k. It been 24 hours and got taken down again. And then I put it up again. And it done about 60, 70 before it got taken down again.
Well, I've never done it that big a gap between putting it out the first and the second time, because the times that I've done it, it's maybe been time, you know, it's like within a few hours and stuff. So I've the first time I done it, I made one unlisted and I put up the proper, I can't remember, I done made a fuck up with maybe the audio was out of sync or something. I went, I don't like that. Put the same video up, unlisted the first one, and nobody seen the second one, right? And then the other time I done it, I'm trying to remember the circumstances, but again, it would have been within the same day. And I'm like, so if it happen again, maybe just leave it a few weeks and then plant it back in. That's maybe the way doing it. But mine's were like within hours. That's why I've maybe seen a different set of results. So what were they taking it down for? Was it the type of content or was it copyright? What was the reason for
going guys, I'll catch up with you, right? Aye, I'm going to catch up with you, right?
John, can I ask you just before you go, do you think Kev's changed?
Pass off.
Wee bit.
Oh man, honestly, it's getting boring now. Right,
Craig, I can't say if he's changed or not, buddy, because I only met him at Epping, and
thanks, EY. I've no changed, big man. I've no changed.
I'll have to wait and see till I see him again.
Right, well, I've no changed.
The ego has landed.
The ego has landed. Right,
mine gets.
You can drop that. You can drop that one right out. I'm not got an ego.
Craig, listen, my ego is through the roof, geese. Yeah.
Aye.
I'm through the roof, geese. Yeah.
That's class.
But you know what? I like winding them up.
Aye, see me done the podcast together the other week, and I was like, so how long you had your YouTube channel? And you're like 6 or 7 months. I'm like, what? You're fucking smashing it. So I was expecting to see you to the channel 3 or 4 years.
No, I've had it for a year now, but I only started really uploading in January, so
incredible.
You know,
incredible. But that's what I was saying. It was Eddie I was talking to. Yeah, I was talking to Eddie, right? And I was like, Eddie, do you know what? I wish I had an English accent and I was based down south. He's like, how? I says, well, Scotland has got about 10% amount of people in England. So if I was English, I kind of think, I would almost say I would have 10 times the amount of followers, right? But you've got a bigger audience, because I get it. I worked in England a lot, and some people just don't understand a word I'm saying, right? And I'm talking a lot of the stuff up until recently I talk about is Scottish politics. So you're in a smaller market. Because Eddie, I didn't realise Eddie was quite new to YouTube as well. He's only put out about half a dozen videos. I'm like, Jesus, just seem to be rocking it, you know what I mean? So no, it was great seeing all the do you know what I find about YouTube as well, mate? Twitter, I hate Twitter. See people with big Twitter accounts, they get jealous of each other and they start talking shite about each other and all that nonsense. And I've never seen that on YouTube. you seen the amount of guys that were down there and they're all, oh, Craig, brilliant, great to see and all that. There's nothing, there's no, like, when you think about it, we're I suppose, competing with the same audience as well, do certain things, but nobody cares. Don't know.
I'll just really stay off the guys, to be honest with you. Yeah, like, I think Craig, I just try to keep myself to myself, bro. You know, I've always been just keep myself to myself. I've got my little, I've got my team, not my team, but I've got my people. Do you know what? You know, like people I know I know some of these we go to school together, guys. It's a different thing, you know, and so I just I just try to keep myself to myself and just stay away from it all and let everybody else do their own little dramas and just keep me out of it.
Aye, but I genuinely, I've not seen a single bit of like YouTube drama. I'm in like a lot of chat groups. There's maybe one. There's me, Andy the Angry Cabby, Preston the journalist. Who else is in that one? It's terrible.
Mate, there's loads of you,
Fox, and it's just we're all doing the same stuff. And
mate, you know how much trolls I've got?
Go on.
You know how many trolls I've got, guys? Like trolls. Yeah, like my mods. Some of my mods will be here in the chat probably. Jenny and Lynn, they will tell you. Yeah, mate, the amount of trolls I get even in other people's chats. People just use other people's channels and their chats just to talk about me, guys.
Yeah.
You know, and I just turn around.
It's space cadets, mate.
Yeah, and I'll just turn around and just say, it's all easy to type on computer, you know, but when we're face to face, just come with the same energy.
Yeah. No, you're doing it. But you've got a great.
What time are you down on Saturday?
What, pal?
What time are you down on Saturday?
I'm coming down Friday night. I'm not in the city. I'm flying down to one of the outside airports. I'll talk to you about it offline. And then I've booked 2 nights in at the airport hotel. And then I've booked a train, take me down Saturday morning, back up to it Saturday night, stay at the airport, fly home Sunday morning, early flight. So that's my. I was going to drive, right, and then I just was like, "Oh, it can't be that. You know, that'd be too much. Twice in a week." And I used to do it all the time. I used to work Sydenham, southeast London, and I used to go down every Sunday night, maybe the sleeper train, or drive down on Monday, and then every Friday afternoon I was either getting the train back up, leaving Euston about 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something, and I was just like, I can't be bothered doing the driving again. So, you know, I booked a flight just this afternoon. Flights were decent price, and got a hotel at a half decent rate, and just I was going to get a hotel in the city, but the flight home on the Sunday's like 7 o'clock or something. So I thought, nah, just go back to the hotel at the airport and just chill. So, aye, that'll be me, mate. But do you think we were talking about it earlier, right? See, when we get into like October, November, do you see the weather and the time of year affecting the protests?
I think yes. I'm not going to include Epping in that. I'll tell you this for a fact. I'll tell you this 100%. Come rain, come sleet, come snow, Epping will protest. Yeah, I'll tell you that for a fact. I can't say for other places because I haven't been there. I've not been with these people, do you know? Like, so it'd be wrong for me to comment on other hotel protests, but I think the Norwich lot, I probably think that they will still be out there. I think the Norwich lot. But yeah, I don't really know them personally, so it's wrong for me to say yes or no, but I can tell you for sure that Epping will be out there for sure. Come rain. or whatever.
Just see the people. I was just so humbled to be in their company, and they were so grateful that we were there. And I'm like, no, you're getting this the wrong way around. I don't know if they actually appreciate the knock-on effect I've had to the rest of the country. Stephen was in earlier. He organised the Peterhead rally, and the Peterhead rally wasn't just about Asylum Hotel, right? It was about immigration, but there was loads of other things that his rally was about. And I said to him, did the Epping influence you at all? And he went, no, really, because we were doing something different. He says, but I tell you what, Aberdeen are at it, and they're having it away. They're out 3 times a week, right? He went, it definitely inspired them, because I've spoke to the boys and I was like, what Spurgeon's on? And they're like, Epping. And I kind of think Connor, who does the Falkirk ones, that was the lad that gave us the banner to take down to give to the people of Epping. I'm sure talking to him in the past, it was one of the things that spurred him on as well and gave him some inspiration. So they're a different class, mate. They are absolutely different class. And it's young, it's old, it's men, it's women, it's just a great community.
Craig, where Epping just stands like, I'm not just saying this because I'm from the area or anything, but, like, there's no leaders, there's no organisers. Yeah, you have a couple of spokespeople. Do you know what? You have a couple of spokespeople. Of course you do. Like but this is organic. This is community led. This wasn't like, that's how. Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about Epping, to be fair.
Aye, you're right. It is organic. It is a community. And even the ones that are doing the spokespeople, they're just part of that community. I mean, we were in the pub later on. Callum was there. The girl that was arrested, Sarah, she was there. And it was just, there was no big, Johnny Big Cigars. It was just, and what? It was me that got interviewed today on the TV. It doesn't matter. It'll be somebody else tomorrow. And
yeah,
there's no ego. They've got a common purpose and they're just smashing it, mate.
Mate, do you know what it's like, and I think this is, this is why Epping's that's why it's the way it is. I think, to be honest with you, and I just think it's they've got good people. And
AY, do you mind if I DM you, son, on X? Somebody's been commenting in this thread tonight, and it was something that you were going to do. If you didn't mind, if I could give you a DM on X to see what you're talking about, and I might just pick up the baton on what you were going to do.
What am I going to do? You know more than me, guys, because I don't even know what I'm doing from one day to the next at the minute.
No, it was somebody's Scottish teeners mentioned you a few times in this thread tonight.
God, do you know what? He's definitely changed here, isn't he, Craig? He's all about passing the baton and stuff.
Aye, he's changed, mate.
Oh,
he's Twitter.
Do you know what? I'm not right. Do you know what? I'm doing nothing there. That's it. I'm finished. Right, I'm not even going to any more protests. That's me. I'm done. I'm going to become a lefty.
Are you going to? Hi, here. I'll give you this, right. You can start standing up and oppose me in your protest, right? Put that around your napper.
I'm going to become a lefty. I mean, my God, I'm trying to help my fellow right wingers. Do you know, my fellow patriots, and I'm getting nothing but abuse. So do you know what? I'm going to go to the left. That's me. I'm going to go dye my hair.
I turned around and said to someone said, "Oh, what are you going to do? Like, if hotels and that close?" I said, "That's it. I'll close this channel. I won't have no need to do nothing, that's it. I'm done." I said, "But you know what? I might just go full lefty mode, I think." Yeah, I said, and just have another channel. I said, and just go full lefty mode. They
have you noticed that as well, AY? I mean, I've done a couple of hotels up here, but there was a couple of places. So I've done. There's one. I'll mention them offline. There was one called the Victoria Park in Edinburgh. There was one. So this is the thing up here. I found there was two I went and visited, and both of them are not just holding illegal migrants; they're actually mixing them in with natives.
Yeah, so were they the ones in Glasgow?
No, there's
No.
both of the ones I'm telling you were in Edinburgh.
Yeah, because they're the ones that they're the ones I found in Glasgow, like that one. But they got a Britannia in Glasgow. That's House in all Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
I
done the cladding before the protesting started, but that was on the back end day. What had happened was Craig. There was a protest in Calendar Park, and I went down and done it there. But there's also something I found out in Falkirk. There's the guy that owns the hotel, the Cladding, has actually bought a building at the back end of Calendar Business Park, and he's got planning permission to turn it into an HMO. So I'm keeping an eye on that one, but I can't get too close to it because it's that well sectioned off. But I've got a drone now, so I can fly over and check it out. But that one's a worrying one because that could hold 180 of them.
There's no point you going there, fly drones. People don't want to see roofs of buildings. You need to get up and get inside these hotels and look. Yeah. People don't want to see roofs. People don't want to see this. People don't want to look in the gutters. Yeah, people want to look inside. We need to see what these people are getting.
Well, I've got a bit of advice after you in the background, if that's all right then.
Get in there, yeah. The only problem you've got up there is you've got that Poxy Section 38.
Aye.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
To be honest with you, right, I don't care. I genuinely do not give one single jot, because if they're putting these people into communities, I think the communities have got the right to know who's actually there.
You've got a Cairn, I think it's called Cairn, or pronounced Cairn Hotel.
Aye, that's in Blackburn.
Bathgate?
Aye, Blackburn, that one is that Hodge 500.
Yeah, that's a migrant hotel, isn't it?
Yeah, all men in there too.
Yeah. I don't know, but you've got two, yeah. Now I think this one is like a processing centre, but it's in Dumfries.
Right, okay.
It's called the Car Gen House. Well, it's a Mercure.
See if you've got anything, mate, and you can't get up here, just send it up to me and I'll because I've got
loads. There's a Best Western Station Hotel.
Aye, I've got that one on my list to check out. I've got one called the Helix to check out as well.
Is that in Dumfries, yeah?
No, the Helix is in Grangemouth.
So the Best Western at Station Hotel, that's in Dumfries, yeah?
Aye, that one, aye.
So there's another one in Dumfries. That's the one you want to go to, that Mercure one. If you look at that on the map, and if you actually get that on Google Maps and have a look at the grounds of that hotel, you're going to be absolutely amazed, I think.
Well, I've just bought myself an actual kind of camera of the
Google Maps closed. Permanently closed. What were you asking me, boss?
Can you get that on Google Maps and zoom right into it and look at the grounds of this hotel?
This Mercury one.
Yeah, I think it's this one anyway. Yeah, look at the grounds of it.
I see that. So somebody's put in the comments the Mercure in Livingston. That's not a migrant hotel. I've checked that one out already.
Zoom into that now, Craig. Yeah, zoom into that little dot. Look at the grounds of this place. Oh, it's this one, Craig. Yeah, that's it. See if you can zoom into it. We should be able to.
Hold on, try to get it.
Just while you're talking, while you're doing that, there's somebody Alternative Scotland's put one in about the Mercure in Livingston. I've actually went and checked that one out. That is the that's no holding any migrants at all. That's still open for business. It's used as a homeless hotel. Because I was also given information about the travel lodging at Livingston as well. I've checked that one out as well, and that one's that's again.
No, don't. Craig, go on to the like zoom into the. You can't drive in there on that, but if you can just go on top of it and just zoom in. Do you know what I mean? You go on top of it
Right.
and just zoom into it. You see the grounds, I think. Look at the grounds. I'm sure this is the one. I think this is a processing centre, this one. I think. I don't know for sure, but
I'll go and check it out.
them ones that I see them, Robert has put a comment in. They are moved in and out again in 24 hours. They're not moved into HMOs in 24 hours. When they moved into a hotel and they're out within 24 hours, that's a processing centre. So we like to call them distribution centres. Because from there, that's where they're distributing the people from, yeah? I went to that, see that one at Radisson, Perth? There's no way in the back of that place. You can't get in the back of there. I went through tried every door there.
Yeah.
That's where the protesters tomorrow.
Is it?
Aye, there's a protest. But there are two hotels right opposite each other at Perth.
I know, I've been to them both.
Aye.
Don't worry about that.
You done the Bruce as well, didn't you, in Glasgow? Is it East Kilbride?
Yeah, I went in that one.
Yeah.
Aye. And nobody's protesting outside these hotels.
I couldn't believe how easy they was to walk straight into, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Aberdeen is full of them as well. There's loads in Aberdeen.
Aye, there's 3 up there.
I think there's more than that, guys. I think there's more than that, guys.
There is more than that.
I think in Aberdeen you have got...
There's 6 I've been told about, apparently.
I'll tell you, 1 second, I'll tell you exactly how many is there.
But like I was saying earlier, they've started up a new one.
You've got Hampton by Hilton.
Yep.
At Westhill.
I've done that one.
You've got Shore Hotel by Best Western Aberdeen.
Yep, done that.
Done that one.
You've got Carmi Light Hotel.
Never heard of that one.
No, I've not heard of that.
Carmelite Hotel Aberdeen. You've got Patio Hotel Aberdeen.
Yeah, Patio.
Yeah, been there.
So you've got another one there then called Carmelite. CARM Elite Hotel Aberdeen.
Hey, Mike, can you send me kind of list you've got, or is that possible?
Yeah. You've got another one here down at Elgin.
Okay.
Is it Elgin?
Yeah.
Aye, Elgin, aye.
You've got one there. 8 Acres Hotel and Leisure Club.
That Elgin's a beautiful place to.
8 Acres Hotel and Leisure Club.
Elgin's quite far out though, so I wouldn't say it's in the Aberdeen catchment, but...
Well, don't worry about the Aberdeen catchment. It's in the Scotland catchment, guys. It's all over the place. These places are all over.
Yeah, definitely.
Inverness, you got one.
Beautiful tin.
Yeah, I've got one here for you. Look, what Craig's gonna raise his eyebrows as soon as he hears this one. You've got them in Cameron Barracks, Army accommodation in Inverness.
Did they take the munitions out of the place before we gave them it?
We want to hope so, mate. We want to hope so. No, that can't be right. No.
There's a Premier Inn right next to that.
You won't find them in a Premier Inn.
No.
No. No, you won't find them on Premier Inns, mate. Premier Inns never housed them.
Another place, Leonardo Hotel, Inverness, but that's next to the army barracks you're mentioning.
Yeah, they won't be there. That's where they're at. They're in the army barracks.
There's something in the paper about them planning to use more, though, like old army barracks to be used for that. There was something in the paper that they plan to use more of the abandoned army barracks to house them as well.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about doing down there. That's exactly what they're talking. That's exactly what they're saying that they're going to start doing. If they're going to be locked up, then good.
I've just been sent a message on Twitter, right? It's a job that Mears Group, I don't know if that means anything to you, AY. Mears Group are business up here that look after them all. And they're advertising for a housing officer in Tannockside. Tannockside's a little just outside the Glasgow boundary as you go east towards Lanarkshire. They're like 30 grand a year, 40 hours a week, and help find temporary accommodation for asylum seekers.
Yeah.
And
you apply for the
Northeast. Yeah, Northeast, Yorkshire and Humber, Northern Ireland and Scotland. Brilliant. Due to a contract expansion, we are seeking for a housing officer to join our team.
That mate, lovely picture of you on Urban Pictures. Did you meet him? He's the guy with the long camera.
Who's that?
Wesley Winter. Have you met Wesley Winter?
Don't know. Don't think so.
Oh, that was Wesley Winter. Just sent me a voice note.
I take it we've upset JG. Have you ever worked a day in your life? I have actually, JG. I've worked almost every day in my working life. No.
Some people they don't actually realise, do they, Craig?
No. I think even Kev was talking about that when he spent 24 hours with me. You don't know the stuff behind it. Even just a simple thing like you record the video, it takes 10 minutes. That's no the time you do it. Then you've got to edit it, you've got to get it prepped, you've got to get it up on YouTube and all that stuff, you know.
See, that's why I leave mine pretty much unedited, really, my videos, to be fair.
Same.
I leave them unedited, put them up. That's it, job done. It's just...
it's a processing for me that takes a while, like the YouTube side.
Mate, how long are your videos?
I keep them unedited, so they're about an hour most of the time.
Yeah, that's why then, bro.
Yeah.
That's why, mate.
But I'm doing 4K 30 frames as well, so...
I do 4K 60 frames.
Yeah, I did think about bumping up to 60.
I do 4K 60 frames on my GoPro. I suppose most of my videos are between 30 to 40 minutes long. Some a little bit longer, depends really, to be fair.
Yeah.
And they normally take... but judging by Craig's dodgy Wi-Fi connection, I'm guessing that Scotland have got don't mean to be horrible, but they've got old dodgy Wi-Fi, or...
No, mine's is all right, mate. It's my computer. It's actually my laptop. I just upgraded they put a cable in here because the people the ones that come into this property were a bit shit. So I got a company who actually put a brand new cable straight through my wall, and it's running like fucking a dream. But now my laptop is so fucking slow compared to the internet. It's my processing speed of my laptop that's snarling it up. I'll just show you something in a minute.
No, I was under strict instructions, Craig, to wind you up about your internet.
Who gave you these instructions?
Put it this way. Every time I managed to slip it in, I was getting a tenner. You don't know me too well, do they, Craig?
You're making big money from
it.
But listen, I'm going to shoot people anyway, yeah, because I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap up, mate. I'm getting a bit tired as well.
I'll see you all. I'll see you all another
I'll
time.
no doubt.
See
Yeah,
you
I'll
Saturday,
see you
big
beforehand, mate. No doubt. See you Saturday.
Go on, then, buddy.
Godspeed,
Take care,
Eli.
boss. Anytime you come out.
See you later.
Shut up again.
Oh, there's my flag coming down.
That fell down.
Throwing itself back up in the car.
Right.
Right.
I'm going to call it a night because I'm shattered.
Hey, boy, big.
I'm actually really grateful that somebody esteemed as Kev Duranta has graced his wee presence tonight.
No,
Obviously the boys
stay
have been
bar, big man.
sensation.
Anytime you need your ratings boosted, just give us a shout.
I think it's great that some of the people with
Do
massive
you know what?
reach are helping opinions.
I'm just going to go along with it now.
Just embrace it.
I'm not a fuck it, man. There's no point in even fighting it anymore. I mean, Sandy's been in that comment section all night tonight going on about how I've changed.
Kev, you've become like royalty and you're just here to help the little people.
I tell you, it's like royalty because I never seen the colour of his cash the whole weekend.
What was that?
That's I says you're like royalty. I never seen cash all weekend. That's not true. He bought the dinner. Well, he bought his where did they go? Burger King. What was that like at service station?
I know.
He bought a packet of fags
for a
and
packet
Burger
of
King
fags.
meals and it cost him 50 quid.
20 fags,
Sorry.
$20.
So you have a favourite?
£19.95. I thought, you robbing bastards.
See, if you'd gone down your mobility scooter, they might have taken some sympathy for you.
I should have done that, Bobby. Aye. Put my blue badge on. Maybe got a discount for that one. Know what I mean?
Right.
I might have got a discount if I take my blue badge with me.
Which raises a question I'd like to ask you, Kev.
Yes.
When you laid out the Scottish flag on the steps of a certain building, how long did it stay there? Do we know?
I don't know, mate. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it was just something I felt needed to get done. But whether or not it made any difference makes it. I mean, I don't think it would have made much of a difference, to be fair. But do you know what? It made a difference to me because I was raging that day. You know what I mean?
And you're quite right to be raging. In the private chat, I've left a clip for Craig to look at. And if you watch it, it's about 6 minutes. If you take a note of it and watch it after this, the guy just talks about where we are and how we got there and how the progression is there. 6 minutes, and it's utterly frightening because you'll recognise the stages.
Are they two links? There's two links here, mate. Are they two of them for the same video?
That's actually one link. It just goes over 2 lines. What I'm
you've
seeing.
got a message that came in at 8:36 and one that came in at 8:58.
I'm only seeing the one that came in at 8:58 then.
Right.
So yeah, they'll both be for the same one, aye.
Okay. Well, I've clicked the link, so it's up on the tab it's on now, and I'll wait till it starts up, pause it, and get.
It's just, as I say, it's one of these weird things. The guy explains how it all works, and you sit and hear it, and you think, that's been done, that's been done to us, that's been done to us, and that's been done to us. And he explains how we all get basically brainwashed into thinking, oh, this stuff's okay, and it's how people don't respond to it. I mean, I still meet a lot of people that think I'm a conspiracy nut. I keep saying, I'm just have a look around. Just keep your eyes open. Don't trust a word I say, but keep your own eyes open. You might get a shock.
Good evening.
Hello, Joe.
Hey, Joe Horrible.
It's Stretch, actually, or Honcho if you're on the West Coast, Stretch if you're on the East Coast, Borough Boy, Derek Hayward. How you doing? Sitting Boris, Boris and this. Well, to be fair, I think I'm all right, to be fair. You know, I've not been interfered with in cladding anyway, you know. The last thing I heard that I saw, I will popped on, I will leave quite quickly. All right. The last time I saw that people were outside the cladding, there was a certain Labour guy that came up and said, "Oh, there's only been one thing." Did he forget how multiple young boys were, had the power took off them? You understand what I'm saying? I think the boxer, the Hibs boy, that got shot with a shotgun, told you they want to take the power and he wouldn't do that. That's exactly what they were doing, these individuals in the cladding. There's been multiple times in Falkirk, and I just live in Bowness, EH51. Yeah? I'm not from here. I come from Broomhouse in Edinburgh, and we don't need to worry about what they've been doing to the young boys. That does not get reported because sometimes these individuals are, say, known to the police, and that way, it doesn't matter anymore. All right? Falkirk's very, very Central Scotland Police. Well, let's be honest, guys. They let people die on the M8. They were Falkirk Fair people too, weren't they? Just left them there for 3 days. You know, remember that big thing about the boy and the girl in the slipway for 3 days? Well, that's Central Scotland Police. That's Falkirk guys, to be fair. Right. And I know because I'm ex-forces, first time Royal Scots, Royal Regiment, first of foot. One Scots if you're young enough. Yeah, we know that. It's a 15-mile-an-hour thing down the Cowgate, and they can't find the fucking bus that chopped somebody's head off with no blood on the street. And we're still wondering, how did that happen? The same reason where these individuals are taking the power off our young boys are the same people that did that in the Grassmarket, no? You would think that such a street like that, 50-mile-per-hour zone, next to the vaults, Bannerman's just opposite it. Next to it, that takes you to the Tron, and all those hotels. You'd think somebody would have seen what bus it was travelling at 15 miles an hour that took that white man's head off him with no blood and no bus. Am I missing something here yet, or am I just being obtuse? I'll mute myself so you can respond.
Okay.
Well, other than the bus thing, I kind of not got a clue much what you're talking about because you're quite bland and no. I'm lost. I don't know what you're talking about. The boys taking the power. And stuff like that, so really
well. What is it? What is it? If you're a male and you get buggered, is that not them taking your power? Now we all know there was a boxer, right, Hibs boy, and he told you all. Yeah, he told you so, He says, no, I wasn't into that. They wanted to take the power off them, and I would not play that game. What he meant was he was not a bugger. And you do realise that because, to be fair, you're 55, right? You know what I mean, brother? You're not exactly... I know you can't agree or acknowledge too much because it is your platform. You do know what that guy that you do realise what that Hibs casual was talking about when he said, "I would not take the power off the boys."
Right.
We all know that certain people in Edinburgh, they'll take the power off you, but you need to be forced to be bent over. Now, that's the same thing that happens in the cladding outside multiple times. This is why you turn up.
There's a man.
Yeah? You understand what I'm saying? Right?
Not really. No.
Well, if you don't understand, then what's the point of me being here? Do I need to explain it or elaborate better? I'm trying to say that the reason why that Labour guy turned up, and said there's only been one rape that's happened here, Well, the first time you were at the cladding, yeah, if you looked in BBC Scotland and everything else, there was a certain charge hand that turned up, yeah, and said, oh, these people aren't from here. There's only been one person convicted in Falkirk on a little girl. But you weren't just talking about little girls getting raped, were you? You were talking about the males that had been raped at the cladding, and that Police Scotland just ignored and hidden. Is that not why you were there?
I wasn't at the first one. Mate, Joe, you sound as if you're here to argue with somebody.
I'm not. I'm just here to figure out. I'm just here to figure out if we all know what everybody here knows, and why, if we do, we're not discussing it.
What is it you want to discuss, Joe? What is it you're trying to be cryptic about and talk really clever?
I'm not being cryptic. I want to understand why it is that we allow.
You're talking about a guy. You're talking. Right, stop a minute. Right.
I'm talking about a Labour councillor that turned up on the first time and said, I don't know why they're protesting at the cladding. I'm not actually shouting. I'm not shouting. I've just got a gamer head. I'm not. I've got a gamer headset. It's a £200 Turtle Beach. That's all it is.
Wow,
I'll turn myself down. I'll turn myself down. That's all it is. I'll turn myself down. Like 2 ticks. I'll hit my settings. I'll just change it to automatically adjust volume, and hopefully that's better. Is that any better?
You're talking.
Is it any better?
It's great. It's fantastic. Right.
Cool.
What is it you're trying to say? Stop talking in riddles. Just if you get something you want to say it.
But don't. The very first time that everybody went to protest at the cladding in Falkirk, yeah, there was a Labour charge hand, yeah, all right, Labour supporter, councillor, or whatever, and he turned up and said, I don't know why they're protesting. There's only been one tourist that has been convicted of anything, and I find it's really bad that they accuse everybody else. But that individual does not actually realise that at the cladding, multiple young males have been raped outside. And because they were known to the police for being Jack the Lad, whatever, yeah, it was not even, it just gone. And if you know people that live in the Falkirk area, then you'll know what I'm saying, because that's what they're annoyed about. Yeah. And that's why I came on to ask the question.
That's not,
you know,
right. What is the question?
Why is it that we just want to see that seemingly the powers that be say, oh, it's not any local people, it's always people that turn up, but nobody's talking about the male rapes that have been happening in Falkirk over the last 5 years. Nobody wants to talk about the Mad Turk shit either, did it? No. I wonder why. Is it because everybody's controlled, or is it because the Lodge gave up and they let the Mad Turk Tarek win?
Joe, maybe it's because nobody's aware of it. I mean, the 2 seconds, mate, right?
Sure, comment, I'll mute myself.
2 seconds, mate, right? You got to remember, right, a lot of stuff gets kept away from the public eye, right? So unless people are aware of what's going on, you'll never truly know what goes on. The reason for the protests outside the cladding was because there was a 31-year-old guy raped, a 15-year-old lassie raped, and a 12-year-old boy raped. And then there was a series of sexual assaults that had been reported in that area. So that's what highlighted, that's what started the protests outside the cladding. But what you're talking about there is like a cover-up. And
there's been multiple.
It's not going to.
There's been multiple things happened at the cladding. Multiple things happened at the cladding. It's been covered up by Police Scotland.
I'm not disputing that. I don't.
I'm not saying you are. I thought you knew this. To be fair, I thought you knew this. To be fair,
anybody knows about it, Joe. This is the thing. This is what Craig's trying to make the point. I mean,
I do apologise, Craig.
No,
you know?
I don't. I'm
not sorry, but you get what I mean. I'm sorry, but I'm no sorry. I thought you knew.
Joe,
that's why
Joe,
I was
Joe.
like, what do you mean? When I was
Right,
explaining,
Joe,
you know what I mean?
hold
I do
on.
apologise.
Right, 2 seconds, mate, right? There's no need to apologise, right? But the fact of the matter is, we know things get covered up. Historically, even before all this thing with the hype, we could go into historical...
like California and Falkirk, where they got a Wiccan. See, Falkirk Council are actually well known for this. If you go pay attention, right, there was a certain thing in Falkirk, and anybody that knows what I'm talking about will understand, all right? There was a certain charity that dealt with hereditary older people that had been interfered with. They were given a dossier that had been acquired, shall we say, from Falkirk Council. And Falkirk Council, when they figured out that certain charity just off the high street, was going to give the dossier that had been posted through their door anonymously, they reduced the funding, and we didn't get to find out about California. Now, California is a place in Falkirk, where there's lots of police, and lots of police are there because they got a Wiccan there. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and they hid it, and they sent them all over Scotland.
So, the thing is, though, Joe, right, you're bringing up stuff that nobody knows about.
I can, but history repeats itself, and it only repeats itself because people hide it.
But we're not hiding anything. We're trying
I never
to
said you are.
We're trying to find the truth. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And
I've gave you the charity. I've gave you the charity that got its funding cut by 50% by Falkirk Council when they were given a dossier that proved the California thing, and the fact that a Labour done a deal so they could all disappear. See, thing in Scotland is, right, we're really slow in catching up. Yeah. And if you want to go look at it, when you look at RBS libel scam, right? Did we not find that in Scots law there was a certain mechanism that allowed you to invest in drug dealing, prostitution, child and all that stuff, even arms dealing? And the SNP government did say, we're going to shut that down. They ain't shut it down, people. It's still active. It's probably the same way how Prince Charles, you remember when BA, when they got asked, what are those $50 million extra? And then Charles went, You know why that was? Because you know that upgrade for Trident? Because we'd already sold it to the Saudis.
I can't cope. You're jumping from Charles to Saudis to Trident to the bank to the council.
Because it's all interlinked. It's all interlinked. If you believe for 1 second that anything that you interact with is not the same thing. Listen, what does government mean to you? In Latin, it means mind control.
Joe, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit the mute button.
I'll mute myself.
Oh my God. I'm going to talk for about maybe 30 to 60 seconds, Joe. I would love you just to listen, right? See this knowledge that you've got, you're up at a 10 out of 10 with it. And you're talking to people in the room that are at a 1 out of 10 with it. So if you talk the language of a 10 out of 10, nobody's going to be able to follow you. I'll give you a hint. If you want to drag folk from a 1 up to a 2, 3 or a 4, talk to them at a level 2 or a 3, right? And they'll understand you. But you've came on here and you've said a lot of words, right? And you're jumping from one to the other in half sentences and noise, a Labour, right? And folk are like, what is Joe talking about? Joe knows what Joe's talking about because Joe's at a 10, a level 10. The majority of the people that you're talking to in this audience right now are at a level 1 or a 2. And they don't understand what you're saying, me included.
Fair play.
Right, so on that note, I'm going to pull the stream to an end because we've been at it nearly 4 hours and I need my wee pit. So thank you very much to everybody that's listened. Thank you very much to everybody who's come up and spoke, especially as new first-time callers. There's a couple of them tonight, Joe, etc. Great that AY's come in, and Kevin has been here for almost the full duration, as is DJR Media.
Pity Tara Reef's away.
Tara Reef, I know.
Oh, Tana Reef's funny. We can't talk about you've changed.
The Tara Reef's funny. No, I'm sorry, but that is going to be the funniest thing tonight. Tana Reef, that ended me. That's going to be the funniest comeback tonight, man. That was brilliant. Tana Reef. Oh dear! I'm still cracking up about it.
Joe, there's a guy there who's you've caught the attention of, Road with Purpose, who's got a YouTube channel, and he's asked you to drop up a message.
Road with Purpose, you can't message anybody on YouTube, but what I will do is I will say hi in the chat. I'm Jai03 Haribo. I'm a childish Joe. My name's no Joe, it's Derek, guys. But anyway, Craig, thank you for letting me on, and thank you for understanding that I'm a hyper guy, guys. I've got autism. I've got Asperger's syndrome, right? So I try to get it out bullet points quickly as possible, and I know that most people don't. You know what I mean? I'm hard work. I'm hard work.
Right. See, when you're talking to people who know an 8 or a level 8, 9 or 10 of understanding of the stuff that you're up obviously a level 10 at, they'll struggle. And the other thing is, I've got stuff that I'm on the spectrum, and even I like bite-sized chunks of information. If somebody throws a shotgun of information, my head I'm like, well, where do I start? So I don't start. My head just goes, all right, there's no noise, right? But if you come on, you say, right, let's talk about Falkirk. Let's talk about one aspect of Falkirk. I can cope with that. But it was just shotgun me, and I'm quite sure there's a lot of people who do.
I get it.
Could you let
I honestly thought. Oh, I do apologise. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. I just threw my train of thought. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening tonight. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you think you're subscribed to the channel, please double check that, because a lot of people are miraculously becoming unsubscribed and they don't realise it. And unless you are the type of person that comes here, tells wee fibs, and takes benefit of our kindness and our people, then not you. But everybody else, have a great day.